Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ross Memorial Park today on the PAC Sports Network. Game 2 in Day 1 of the PAC Baseball Championships. The Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets taking on the W&J Presidents. Waynesburg, the 4th seed of this tournament. W&J, the top seed. They are hosting here on their home field in Washington, Pennsylvania. The Presidents 27-13 overall, 21-3 in conference play. They're the reigning PAC champions. The Waynesburg Yellow Jackets 17-23 overall, but 13-11 in PAC play. The Yellow Jackets hoping to win their first title since 1998, and actually this tournament appearance, the first for the Yellow Jackets since 2005, so it's been a long time coming, but the Yellow Jackets are back, and they are faced with the task of taking on the top seed, the W&J Presidents, and getting the start today on the mound, Eddie Nogue for W&J. His mound opponent will be Brian Resnick for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets, and what shapes up to be a very good pitching matchup here in the second game of the opening day of the PAC Baseball Championships.
Yeah, Nogue's been in this position before. He's the workhorse, the ace of the president's staff, now his senior year, and it feels like all these guys have been in school for about 8 or 9 years because they've been such a core part of this president's program, several of them since their freshman year. And Nogue now actually the career wins leader here at W&J, and he's had a fantastic career as a member of the Presidents. Certainly the guy you want to call on to win yourself the first game of a conference tournament.
Well, as Eddie Nogue takes his warm-ups, let's give you the starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Leading off and playing right field is Eric Crum. Batting second, the shortstop, Nathan Morai. John Kletzley hits third. He's the designated hitter. And the cleanup spot is Matt Bensinger. He'll play first base. The left fielder, Ben Shorthouse, hits fifth. Clay Roman in the sixth spot is out in center field. Catching Mark Timmons bats seventh. Hitting eighth is third baseman Jordan Truscott. And in the ninth spot is Neil Jacobin at second base in front of starting pitcher Brian Resnick. Again, for the Yellow Jackets, it's Crum, Morai, Kletzley, Bensinger, Shorthouse, Roman, Timmons, Truscott, and Jacobin. For the homestanding Presidents, they will lead off with shortstop Michael Ruffing. Batting second is left fielder Nick Vento. Josh Stanish is the center fielder hitting third. Ronnie Parrish in the cleanup role will be catching. At third base, Kyle McLean hits fifth. Hitting sixth is Kyle Smith, the designated hitter. Out at right, Derek McIlvain bats seventh. Hitting eighth, Tyler Schultz at first base. And Anthony Palladino hits ninth, will play second base in front of starting hurler Eddie Nogue. Again, for the Presidents, it's Ruffing, Vento, Stanish, Parrish, McLean, Smith, McIlvain, Schultz, and Palladino. And we're just about ready to go. Eric Crum steps into the batter's box, much to the delight of the Waynesburg contingent coming up I-79 for the contest today. Fastball, a strike on the inside edge, and we are underway. Nogue, the right-hander with the 0-1 pitch. Crum fouls one off down the left field side. No balls and 2 strikes on Crum. Eric Crum hitting .350 this season, 48 hits in 137 at-bats. No homers, 28 RBIs. Crum, left-handed hitter on the 0-2. Takes a fastball outside from Nogue, ball one. Eddie Nogue, 5-1 record this year, 9 starts, has an ERA of 2.62. 58 and a third innings. Deals a pitch, jamming Crum. He's able to fight it off, rolls it slowly to second baseman Palladino, who gobbles it up and throws out Crum for out number 1, 4-3 on the bounce out.
Season series went to W&J, 3-0. It's the 4th matchup between the two schools this year.
Nathan Morai hits next, the shortstop for the Yellow Jackets. Morai hitting at a .311 clip. No homers, 15 RBIs. Nogue's breaking ball, a strike on the outside corner. Well, Eddie Nogue mentioned that he's 5-1 this season. His ERA, the second best in the conference. He's tied for 4th in victories in the conference as well. 0-1 pitch and another ground ball on a few hops, this time to Palladino. Has to hurry the throw, but gets it to first base with Tyler Schultz accurately. 4-3 goes Morai, 2 down in the first.
Looked like Palladino was in danger of misplaying that ball. Actually backpedaled a little bit to catch that on the true hop. Did, and then fired a strike to first base.
You have that luxury on this all-turf surface here at Ross Memorial Park. On a different surface, maybe not so much. Swing and a miss by John Kletzley for strike 1.
Hey, you'll see the true hops here. The really only difficult thing about playing this field is the dirt cutouts, first, second, and third base, along with home plate and the pitcher's mound are dirt. So sometimes you'll get those unorthodox hops when it hits in between the two surfaces, or if you're anticipating a true hop and it ends up hitting the dirt, sometimes it will stay down.
Kletsley on the 1-1 pitch takes a breaking ball on the inside corner for strike 2. Kletsley, the team leader in batting average, hitting at a .385 clip, 2 homers and 35 RBIs. 8th in the league in average, and he goes after the 1-2, rolls it foul first base side. 2nd in the league in hits with 50, 2nd in RBIs as well. He does strike out quite a bit, has been punched out 30 times. So you have that run production. You'll take the strikeouts as long as you get the run production. That's just fine with Mike Humiston, the head coach of the Yellow Jackets. 0-0. Top of the first inning. 2 outs. 1-2. Swing and a miss. First strike 3. So Kletsley down on strikes here. 1-2-3 goes Eddie Nogue right through the Yellow Jackets to begin. Score after the top of the first. Waynesburg 0. W&J coming to bat. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
I'm attorney Dan Foster, and they call me Mr. Debt Buster because I can help clients break free from the prison of debt. Whether from medical bills, credit cards, or foreclosure, my firm helps good, hardworking people who are going through tough times. We will stop the harassing phone calls and get you the relief you deserve. Give me a call at 877-673-3282 or visit MrDebtBuster.com and let's get a plan together to bust you out of debt.
Foster Law Offices is a debt relief agency helping people file for relief under the U.S. Bankruptcy Code.
Mr. Big's Sports Grill and Tap Room, Washington's premier sports restaurant, offering an all-day lunch and dinner menu featuring a wide variety of items, including Mr. Big's platter, ribs, boneless wings, and shrimp. Stop in and enjoy what's on any of their 25 HD TVs, or relax on the fully seated patio. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. with live entertainment every weekend. Located at 595 Racetrack Road off I-79 at exit 41, down from the Meadows. Mr. Big's.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. Eddie Nogue swiftly retiring the Yellow Jackets 1-2-3 at the top of the first. At the bottom of the first inning, it's Brian Resnick who takes the bump for Waynesburg. He has been fantastic in his sophomore campaign. 12 appearances, 11 starts, 8 complete games, and 2 shutouts. He's 8-4 with a 2.68 earned run average, has worked 80 2/3 innings, has allowed 79 hits, 28 runs, 24 earned, with 22 walks and 48 strikeouts. Resnick's ERA, the 3rd best of the conference. He leads the league in wins and innings pitched. He's tied for 3rd with those 48 strikeouts. So he has been very good, and a couple of aces doing battle here today in the 6 p.m. contest, actually about 6:15 p.m. contest. We got started a little bit later than originally anticipated, but that's because of the longer game in Game 1 today. Thomas More defeating Bethany, by the way, 14-5 if you're just joining us in that earlier contest. Michael Ruffing steps in to start the bottom of the first against Resnick. He takes outside ball 1.
Resnick has had success earlier this year against W&J. Pitched 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned, but in a losing effort. W&J winning that game by a score of 3-2, so great pitching performance, just not enough offense on that end, but another chance, another crack at the Presidents here tonight.
Fastball on the outside edge to Ruffing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Resnick delivers, fly ball, down the line and left. Shorthouse moves toward the line in fair territory, makes the grab, 1 away.
Shadow's starting to get a little bit longer here at Ross Memorial Park. Doesn't affect left field, but more the right side of the field. You see the right fielder, maybe the first and second baseman also with their hats low down, trying to keep that sun out of their eyes. Not a factor on the left side of the field.
Nick Vento hitting a team best .393, 3 homers and 28 RBIs. 4th best batting average in the conference. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it back to the netting, strike 1. Sunsplash day here at Ross Memorial Park. As Justin was describing, the fielders having to deal with the sun in some capacity.
Bento a little bit of pop in his bat, too. 3 home runs this year. Good work.
A 3rd in slugging percentage in the conference. 0-1. Fastball, a strike on the outer 3rd. Hitting his spot. Brian Resnick, good pitcher's pitch on that last offering.
And going right after these Presidents hitters, not messing around. Already with the ball back on the mound, set the deal.
0-2. Breaking ball away. Yellow Jackets in their road black uniforms, the white numerals and lettering, and orange trim. Black caps with the orange bill. The Presidents in the home white uniforms, red numerals and lettering in black trim.
Yeah, it's a good matchup uniform-wise. Really like the contrast they have out here. The Presidents with the old-looking numbers a little bit. It's kind of that Boston Red Sox font, sort of. And Yellow Jackets with the black tops, gray pants. Looks sharp out here.
1-2 was dribbled foul. We'll have another 1-2 pitch on Vento. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the first, scoreless game. Breaking ball called, strike 3 looking. It's Vento. Not expecting that. Resnick locked him up. 2 outs in the first inning.
Yeah, I don't think any of us were expecting that one. Resnick pulling the string. Vento frozen. Fantastic pitch. Oh, remember that one. Next time up, Nick Vento.
Josh Standish now. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed throwing Resnick. Offering his low ball 1.
Standish is one of those players that has been around seemingly forever. Started since his freshman year. A great career here at W&J.
And the all-time hits leader now at W&J as he fouls one straight back. This season, Standish, 389 average, 6th best in the conference, leads the league in hits with 58, leads the league in RBIs with 36. He also leads the conference in triples with 5.
And this field is definitely designed for him in terms of gaps, big gaps out there in the outfield. If he finds one of those, you can pretty much pencil him into third.
1-1 breaking ball, a strike, 1-2 on Standish. 2 outs, nobody on, 0-0, bottom of the first. Brian Resnick. Line to the 1-2. Standish takes high. Now Eddie Nogue, 1-2-3 through the Yellow Jackets in the top of the first. Brian Resnick trying to mimic that here in the bottom of the first against the President's batting order. 2-2, and this bender fouled off.
It's a late, sharp break. Real sharp break, but real late also. It's hard to pick that up. And that was just a swing to foul off that pitch as it broke back over the strike zone. Resnick tried to backdoor that curveball against the left-handed hitting Standish. Not sure if that would have caught the corner or not, but it was wise to foul it away.
Resnick's 2-2. Standish, fly ball hit high to left. Shorthouse will range to his left in the gap to make the catch. And that ends the inning. So the Presidents retired in order in the bottom half. Score after 1. Waynesburg nothing, W&J nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new Just Guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Yo, what's up? This is the Black Eyed Peas, and we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in our lives, but nothing is more important than life itself. So when you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road. Don't plan to drive, just plan ahead.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Nothing through 1 at Ross Memorial Park. As the starters today, Eddie Nogue and Brian Resnick, working very quickly through their opponents in that first inning, and kind of what we expected out of these 2 starters. They put up terrific numbers in 2014. And Eddie Nogue, of course, throughout his career. Brian Resnick early in his career as a sophomore, but he has a chance to put up Eddie Nogue-type numbers over at Waynesburg.
Yeah, and both these guys, quick work in the first inning. Resnick just 14 pitches to go 1-2-3 through the W&J order. In the bottom of the first, Nogue 3 pitches better, 11 in the top of the first. Working quickly here, as typical Eddie Nogue.
Matt Benzinger accepts his strike. Benzinger hitting .333. Fastball to him high this time, 1-1. Team leading 3 triples for Benzinger. He has a home run and 23 ribbies. 1-1. Ball lined hard to center. Josh Standish, though, Just one step to his left as the ball laced right to him. It's out number 1.
That was a case of hitting the ball too hard. Stanish basically sitting back there waiting on it. Had to take one step back maybe and corralled that one.
Ben Shorthouse, the left fielder, hits next. Shorthouse goes after the first pitch, chops it off of home plate. Nogue waits on it, fields, throws, and retires. Shorthouse out number 2. Scoreless in the second. Clay Roman up next.
Well, so far, and I know this is going to be the kiss of death, but so far it's very much the opposite of the first game where first couple half innings, first 2 innings actually, each half inning, we had 1 run, and then Thomas Moore put up a 7 spot in the 3rd inning. So a lot of offense in the early innings, not a whole lot of anything here so far except great pitching by Nogue and Resnick.
Clay Roman accepts a fastball for a strike. 1, 2, 3 innings were far and few between in the first game of the tournament, but we may have our 3rd already. 1, 2, 3 half inning. Eddie Nogue gets a ground ball foul off of the bat of Clay Roman for strike 2 up the third base side toward Mike Humiston.
Well, sports have taught anybody anything. It's once you say it's trending a certain way, it trends the complete opposite way. So I'm sure now we'll see some offense.
0-2 breaking ball, bounced to short on a couple of hops, roughing handles, and throws accurately to retire Roman 6-3. And the Yellow Jackets down in order once again after 1.5. Waynesburg nothing, W&J nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
For 3 generations, Sharp's Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharp's carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharp's Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA. When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Through 1.5, it's a 0-0 game between Waynesburg and W&J. Bottom of the second, Ronnie Parrish, Kyle McLean, and Kyle Smith to face Waynesburg ace Brian Resnick. Ronnie Parrish, a .289 batter, the starting catcher, part of this terrific senior class for W&J. Pitch low and away for a ball. They came in as a terrific sophomore class, essentially, is when they started achieving a great deal of playing time.
And a great deal of success as well.
And they have continued that success now on through into their senior seasons. Ronnie Parrish and company. Parrish drills a 1-0 pitch to deep left field. Shorthouse, as he makes a meandering trek, unable to play the ball. It drops to his left and bounces over the fence for a book rule double.
And Shorthouse turned around back there off the bat. I thought that had a shot to get out of here, but not quite enough. 1 hops the fence, 1 hops over the wall. Parrish safe on second, leadoff double. First hit of the ball game for either team.
A ball hit toward the fence and not far from getting out of here, but does bound over for the book rule double. And yeah, Ben Shorthouse was all kind of tied up in trying to play that fly ball. And so the first hit of the day has W&J in business. Here is Kyle McLean. McLean, right-handed hitter. From the stretch for the first time today, Resnick stares down Parrish at second base, brings a fastball for strike 1. Resnick faced W&J earlier in the season. Did suffer a loss in what was a 3-2 loss for Waynesburg, but ultimately pitched pretty well. 7 innings, allowing 3 runs. And W&J did their damage early in that contest, and after that, Resnick kept them silent throughout the remainder of that game. Pitch in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike on McLean. McLean hitting .296, no homers, 22 RBI. Parrish with a leadoff double to begin the bottom of the second. 1-1, low, 2 balls and a strike.
How loud is our crowd mic?
I don't know that it's loud enough to pick up the conversation or not, but you never know. I'll have to go back in the archives to find out. But if it can, you heard the name drop, Chris Fu'umatu Ma'afala. And I can't pronounce it, yes. Of Steelers running back fame. 2-1 pitch is low, 3 balls and a strike. You never know what conversation you might be led to whenever you're here for the PAC Baseball Championships.
Well, it's NFL draft day, so I assume that we're talking football a little bit surrounding that, but I don't know that you want to draft Fu'umatu Ma'afala. He's got to be, 45?
That's the number he wore. 3-1 pitch, fouled off. Payoff pitch upcoming to McLean. I remember Fu'umatu Ma'afala scored a big touchdown against the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. Comeback win. Not to run down the Cleveland Browns or anything. Nothing score here. Back to business at Ross Memorial Park. Resnick will step off the mound. Beautiful day in Washington. What has easily been the most spectacular day of the spring. Temperature in the low 80s. Payoff pitch, and McLean goes with this one down the right field line, but foul. It's in play, but nowhere near Eric Crum. That ball was on a line as well.
If you're curious, he's 37, so I was off a couple years.
He is 37 years old now?
Still old for running back.
Yes, I wouldn't draft him. Again, Resnick steps off after breezing through the Presidents in the first inning after a leadoff double by Ronnie Parrish. A little cat and mouse between Resnick and the Presidents at this point. Trying to wiggle out of this situation. Payoff pitch. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the inside edge. McLean took a step toward first. He thought he had ball 4, but not so. It's the second strikeout for Resnick. 1 away in the second.
Second called strikeout, too. Froze Vento in the first inning. Now getting McLean, or a big first out. Parrish with that leadoff double. W&J threatening to score, but that's a big out and big step in the right direction for Brian Resnick on the mound. He doesn't really strike out a ton of hitters. 80 2/3 innings, just 48 strikeouts. But so far, good work keeping these hitters off balance.
Kyle Smith, the DH. Curveball, a strike on the outside corner. Smith hitting at a .345 pace, 2 homers, 26 RBI. W&J sweeping Waynesburg during the regular season, but a couple of close games along the way. 0-1 pitch, fastball outside. And W&J, talking about breezing through items, W&J breezing through the conference schedule, 21-3, tying the conference mark for most wins during the conference schedule, tying their own mark that they set a couple of years ago. But very few close games, very few tight games, but W&J had to scrap through Waynesburg a couple of times this year. Scratch and claw. 1-1. And this one popped out of play right side of the ballpark. One-two pitch, breaking ball. Fouled off again down the right field side.
First McLean, now it's Smith. President's hitters, last couple of hitters doing good work in fouling pitches off.
Resnick taking his time, checking the signs with Mark Timmons. Now comes set from the stretch. Again, stares down Ronnie Parrish. Throw into second base. Parrish back sliding in head first. Now Brian Resnick has gone from reliable freshman to ace of the pitching staff for Waynesburg. As a freshman, went 5-3 in 14 appearances and 11 starts with a 3.05 ERA. Also 2 saves in his relief appearances. 1-2 fastball is high.
Good speed on that fastball, too, although did miss high. Some good pop out of the catcher's mitt.
An all-PAC honorable mention last year. Likely will have higher credentials this season with the way he is pitched in 2014. 2-2. Fastball in on the hands of Smith as he fouls it away. Smith battling here with Resnick. Runner at second. 0-0 game in the bottom of the second inning and 1 out. Catcher Mark Timmons comes out to chat with Resnick as they game plan, try to finally put away Kyle Smith, find a pitch that'll work. Resnick from the Washington County area played at Burgettstown High School, where he won the Chuck Havelka Memorial Golden Glove Award as a senior. Right now trying to put away Kyle Smith. And a 2-2 tapper foul as Kyle Smith stays alive. Yellow Jackets making their first appearance in the PAC tournament since 2005, hoping to win their first title since 1998, but they'll have to go through the top seed on the first day. Waynesburg and Resnick, 2-2 breaking ball, low and away, ball 3 to Smith. W&J, the reigning PAC champions, defeated Thomas More in the title game right here on their home field at Ross Memorial Park. Took down Thomas More 9-3 in last year's title game. 3-2, and this one drilled to left by Kyle Smith. Shorthouse ranges back. This one is over the fence. A 2-run homer for Kyle Smith, and the W&J Presidents grab a 2-0 lead.
Well, the deeper you go into counts, typically you see better pitches, or you end up finding a pitch to hit. He took fouling off 3-4 balls before Smith found something that he could drive and drove it over the left field wall. W&J striking first here. Bottom of the second inning, 2-run shot for Smith.
2 well-hit balls to left, a double by Ronnie Parrish. This time a 2-run homer by Kyle Smith. Presidents up by a pair for Smith. That's his 3rd home run of the season. Matches him for the team lead now with Nick Vento. With the bases empty, Derek McIlvain looks at a strike. Oh, 1 to McIlvain, just off the outside edge, maybe a bit low. McIlvain hitting .294, team leader in runs scored with 39 for W&J. Talked about Thomas More in the first game, how potent their lineup is. A different-looking lineup, but just as equally effective, if not more effective, the W&J Presidents. 1-1 pitch. Foul ball left field side. And the Presidents not necessarily known for their power, but they use the long ball here in the second inning.
Yeah, not really a home run hitting team, but a relentless team. Certainly a team that can go for extra bases up and down the lineup. And actually, McIlvain, the man at the plate right now, hitting 7th today, but for a large part of the year, hitting the leadoff spot. He was the catalyst for the offense. And here after the home run, trying to jumpstart the offense again.
1-2 fouled off. Another 1-2 curveball drops low and in. 2-0 W&J in the bottom of the second. A 2-run smash by Kyle Smith, the big hit. Resnick's 2-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. 3 Ks on the evening for Brian Resnick. Tyler Schultz, the next hitter, goes after the first pitch, fouls it off over the first base dugout area. Tyler Schultz, 284 batter, home run, 19 runs batted in. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just misses, 1-1. Wide of the 1-1, breaking ball in for a strike. Now 1-2 on the right-handed hitting Schultz.
Same pitch, 2 straight breaking balls to Schultz. First one stayed up. That one, good sharp break to it. Dove through the zone, got the call. Now in control.
2-0 W&J. Nobody on, 2 outs, bottom of the second. 1-2 heater is high.
Did a nice job coming back, getting ahead of Schultz after the McIlvain strikeout. Both batters after the home run by Smith. So good resiliency from Resnick.
2-2 breaking ball, trickled foul behind home. Schultz out of Strongsville, Ohio, and Strongsville High School, 6'1", 195-pounder. Presidents have battled in the second inning, and it has been to their benefit. Battling at bat by Kyle Smith ended with a 2-run homer. 2-2 pitch here, popped up first base side. Matt Bensinger will give way to Neil Yakupin, the second baseman, who makes the catch in shallow right field in fair territory for out number 3. But the Presidents, 2-run homer by Kyle Smith. They are on top after 2 innings. The score, W&J 2, Waynesburg nothing. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America has important information for people with asthma. There are 2 main causes of asthma symptoms: airway constriction you feel and inflammation you may not, and most medicines only treat one. At asthma.com, you'll find information about working with your doctor and treating both main causes of asthma symptoms, and how this can help prevent symptoms before they even start. This message brought to you by AAFA with funding and editorial support by GlaxoSmithKline. For more information, go to asthma.com.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. The W&J Presidents with a 2-0 lead over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. 2-run homer by Kyle Smith in the second inning. And in the top of the third, Eddie Nogue delivers ball 1 to Mark Timmons. Timmons, starting catcher for the Yellow Jackets, hitting .329, a home run and 10 RBIs. Had hauled action there, home plate umpire Lou Kammermeyer halting the action. There was a photographer on the field during the gameplay. Here's a ground ball to second. And handled by Palladino, throws the first. 1 out, 4-3 goes the out of Timmons.
Well, despite that, couldn't break the concentration of Eddie Nogue. He likes to work fast, and once he gets in the rhythm, take 1 step off the rubber to receive the ball, back on the rubber, ready to deliver, and ready to go again right now.
Nogue, a fastball in the mid-80s, changeup and splitter that he likes to use. Goes after Jordan Truscott, high with a breaking ball, ball 1. The 2013 PAC Pitcher of the Year in all PAC first team selection. Eddie Nogue with the 1-0. Called a strike on the inside corner. Another bender.
Breaking ball he likes to use from time to time. That one started at the hitter, broke back over the plate. He'll also throw that middle out.
1-1 fastball low. Nogue also was the ECAC South Pitcher of the Year and a Division III All-American last year. You name it, he won it. 2-1 pitch in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Falls behind Jordan Truscott. rare instance where Nogay has been behind. Has retired 7 in a row to start the contest as we're in the top of the third. President's on top 2-0. And a ground ball off the pitcher's mound and into center field, base hit. So Truscott with the first hit for Waynesburg delivers on a 3-1 pitch. And that's what happens when you fall behind. You have to give something a little better to hit than you'd like. And Truscott delivers the base knock.
And that's exactly what happened. 3-1 pitch. Right there, sent that back up the middle. I thought it might have caught enough of the mound to make it playable for the infield, but ended up skipping on past Palladino out into center field.
Here's Neil Yakupin, number 9 hitter in the order at second baseman. Yakupin takes a breaking ball outside. Yakupin, a transfer from Marietta College, and certainly Marietta.
They have a good program.
Yeah, they are known for their Division III baseball. Yakupin out of Trinity High School in Washington, PA. 1-0 ground ball back to Nogay. Fields it, throws the second, and he throws it into center field. 2-on for Waynesburg. E1 on Eddie Nogay.
Yeah, fielder's choice for Yakupin. E1 allowing Truscott to get to second base. But if that throws on the money, you're probably talking about a double play there. If that's handled by Ruffing, momentum heading towards first base. All he has to do is make a turn and an accurate throw. But Waynesburg cooking something up now with the 1 out.
At a minimum, you get 1, but on that particular ground ball, you're going to get 2 if you throw it accurately into second base. But Nogay's throw sailed on him. And now with 2 on and 1 out, it's Eric Crum, the PAC Hitter of the Week. And also the ECAC South Player of the Week. Takes a look at signs from head coach Mike Humiston at the third base coaching box. Crum, who bounced out his first time up on the 1-0, goes after a high fastball, fouls it straight back, and he's measuring up that pitch as he ranged outside of the batter's box, knowing that one was gearing up toward eye level. Look for something a little lower. Chomping on his bubble gum, Eric Crum. Again, reads signs from Mike Humiston before standing in. Truscott at second, Yakupin at first. 2 on, 1 out, third inning, 2-0 Presidents the score. Nogay takes a look at the runner at second, delivers in the dirt. Ball kicks away from Parrish. Runners advance on the wild pitch. Runners at first and second now for Waynesburg. A base hit very easily could tie it up.
Oh, a very uncharacteristic inning so far for Eddie Nogay. Falling behind a hitter, a wild pitch, also a throwing error. Waynesburg a base hit away.
Crum, liner to short, pulled in by Ruffing, and he'll outrace Truscott, make that Yakupin rather to the bag at second for a line-out double play. That ball was laced by Crum, but right at Michael Ruffing, who snared it and then able to outrun Yakupin to the second base bag to end the inning. After 2.5, the score, W&J 2, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand. But I do. I'm attorney Dan Foster, Mr. Debt Buster. I'm not here to judge, I'm here to help. Call 877-673-3282 or visit MrDebtBuster.com. There is a way out, and I'll help get you there.
Foster Law Offices is a debt relief agency helping people file for relief under the U.S. Bankruptcy Code.
Mr. Big's Sports Grill and Tap Room, Washington's premier sports restaurant, offering an all-day lunch and dinner menu featuring a wide variety of items, including Mr. Big's platter, ribs, boneless wings, and shrimp. Stop in and enjoy what's on any of their 25 HD TVs, or relax on the fully seated patio. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. with live entertainment every weekend. Located at 595 Racetrack Road off I-79 at exit 41, down from the Meadows. Mr. Big's.
2-0 W&J over Waynesburg. And the Yellow Jackets threatening in the top of the third at 2 in scoring position with 1 out, but Eric Crum He absolutely leveled the ball, but happened to be right at Michael Ruffing.
Yeah, right at Michael Ruffing's level. We just had a good angle at that, looking out from our vantage point behind home plate. That ball slicing back towards the President's shortstop. Easy play for him. Once he grabbed it, able to double up runner at second base to get out of the inning. But Waynesburg definitely threatening there, and put a big circle around that play, especially if the game remains low scoring.
Anthony Palladino, first pitch to him is a ball, the 1-0 fastball outside from Brian Resnick. Yeah, most indeed. Put a circle around that last play to end the top of the third inning. Might be a big one, especially with two aces on the mound here in Game 1 of the tournament for these respective teams. 2-0 inside ball 3. Palladino, the number 9 hitter for the Presidents.
And he's one of the underclassmen, a sophomore along with Michael Ruffing and freshman Nick Vento that are kind of peppered up and down this President's lineup. Very senior-laden team. You do have some of the underclassmen playing pivotal roles as Palladino takes ball 4 down low. He'll trot on down to first base.
Coach Jeff Mountain of the W&J Presidents not shy about getting some youngsters in the lineup, but if they're ready for it, of course. I mean, he doesn't just plug in youngsters just for the sake of doing it, but if they're up to the challenge, and Palladino one of those, draws a leadoff walk to start the bottom of the third. Now it's Michael Ruffing.
Well, that shows you the quality of the program whenever you can have players that fill in right away, not out of necessity, but just because they are that talented. And certainly a lot of the seniors now for the Presidents started their careers that way, playing as underclassmen, as freshmen and sophomores, and that's how they formed this great nucleus that is finishing up their careers here.
Michael Ruffing, a sophomore. Still waiting for a pitch, a couple of pickoff throws to check Palladino. The Presidents love to pressure teams with their running game.
You might see a bunt here or maybe even a bunt and run with Palladino on first base. Third base is uncovered. You'll see him head on down to third.
Runner off on the pitch. Ground ball through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Headed to third is Palladino. Stopping at first is Ruffing with a base hit. Runners at the quarters. Nobody out for Nick Vento.
Well, that's how you draw up a hit and run there. Left-handed hitter. Ruffing hitting behind the runner in motion. Palladino, he'll head on to third, and W&J runners on the corners.
Vento struck out looking in the first inning, and it was on a curveball that he wasn't expecting. He was frozen on that pitch. See what he's looking for this time around against Brian Resnick.
In that matchup, he was more or less lulled to sleep with fastballs, anticipating another fastball, and then froze on a big, sharp bender. We'll see if Resnick maybe starts him out with a bender here.
Vento, right-handed hitter, ready to go. Resnick delivers a curveball high, ball 1. Nick Vento out of Murraysville, Pennsylvania, and Franklin Regional High School. He is a freshman. Talking about some of those youngsters that Coach Jeff Mountain will use.
A couple of those guys from Franklin Regional, one at bat and one on deck.
1-0, liner snared by Resnick. He'll turn and throw back to first, double play. They double up Ruffing off of first. Palladino still at third, but now 2 down in the inning.
Well, now it's W&J's turn to hit into a double play of bad luck. It was Waynesburg's semi-rally in the top of the third that was ended with that double play turned by Ruffing there. Ball smoked right back into the glove of Brian Resnick. Reaction play. If he doesn't get a hold of that one, that's a run, and the ball's out in center field.
That ball was humming right back at Brian Resnick. Reached up the glove and got the out. And got 2 while he was at it. Josh Stanish dribbles when fouled behind home plate. Stanish 0 for 1 with a fly out the left his first time up. It had the looks of a big inning for W&J. Now Resnick with a chance to get out of it completely. Oh, 1 to Stanish. Breaking ball, blowing away. Stanish is Justin mentioned, also from Franklin Regional High School, 6'3", 170-pounder, the President's all-time hits leader, as we mentioned earlier, achieving that mark this season.
A lot of quality baseball programs. High schools represented here in this President's lineup.
1-1 fly ball to center, making the catch chest high to come in to make the grab, Clay Roman, and that ends the inning. So the Yellow Jackets this time get out of the jam. They leave one stranded, and a big line-out double play by Nick Vento helped Resnick escaped this situation. Score after 3 innings. It's W&J 2, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
For 3 generations, Sharp's Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharp's carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharp's Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA.
2-0 W&J as we head to the 4th inning. Well, put a circle around 2 plays in your scorebook for the 3rd. 2 outstanding defensive efforts. One on a line out by Eric Crum to Michael Ruffing for an inning-ending double play that took away a took away a Waynesburg scoring opportunity. Then flipped the card to the bottom of the 3rd, a line-out double play hit into by Nick Vento on a ball stabbed by pitcher Brian Resnick.
Yeah, both balls absolutely smoked off the bat. Great defensive plays, but they're just a fraction, maybe a foot one way or the other. You're talking about 2 base hits in a very different game, especially that ball headed up the middle, snared by Brian Resnick. That was a tremendous play and great knowledge of him knowing where the runners were on the field. You know, once you snare that ball, knowing that there's another play to be made at first base, turned and fired to first for the double up.
Nathan Morai at the plate, and with a 1-2 pitch coming from Eddie Nogue, as we mentioned, likes to work quickly. He was pumping in pitch after pitch on Morai and gets the strikeout. That's the 2nd strikeout of the evening for Eddie Nogue, 1 away in the 4th. So making quick work of Nathan Morai. John Kletzley 0 for 1, struck out his first time up, lays off a high heater for ball 1. Kletzley, a freshman from Chartiers Valley, accepts a pitch low. 2 balls and no strikes. Two nothing Presidents. 2-0. Good off-speed pitch on the outer part of the plate for a strike. 2-run homer by Kyle Smith in the bottom of the 2nd as the Presidents on top. 2-1 in the dirt from Nogue. Eddie Nogue becoming the Presidents' all-time wins leader this year. Earned his 27th win on April 25th, part of a 16-4 victory over Geneva. 3-1 a strike, now a full count on Kletzley. Broke the old mark of 26 that was held by 2007 W&J graduate Sam Mann. Payoff pitch, fly ball to left. Long run for Nick Vento toward the line. It's going to drop in for a base hit and bound over the fence for a book rule double. A 1-out, 2-base knock for John Kletzley.
Kletzley, a lefty, opposite field there. That ball slicing away from Vento. Vento's playing towards left center field, so he had a long run for that ball. Unable to get there. One bounce, then over the wall. So Kletzley, a 1-out double, and Waynesburg again, runner in scoring position.
Matt Bensinger lined out to center in the 2nd inning. Looks over signs from Mike Humiston, the head coach of the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Eddie Nogue, now from the stretch. Gets another fly ball to left. This time it'll hang plenty high in the air for Nick Vento to make the catch. 2 outs in the 4th. Staying put at second base is Kletzley. 2-0 W&J. Ben Shorthouse with a chance to get Waynesburg on the board. Just to finish the thought on Eddie Nogue, mentioning that became the all-time wins leader at W&J with a win on April 25th. Sam Mann the record he broke, Sam Mann, an All-American, went on to play professional baseball in the Frontier League. Breaking ball up and in. The Yellow Jackets have a former Frontier Leaguer as their pitching coach, Perry Cunningham, who played for the Chillicothe Paints back in the mid-2000s.
They're no longer around. Chillicothe Paints.
Not in the Frontier League, anyway.
They're
A member of the Prospect League, yeah. 1-0 breaking ball from Nogue. Misses just inside, 2-0.
Gotta love the name, though. Paints. Anytime you see something different in terms of a nickname or a mascot, something like that definitely stands out.
2 balls, no strikes. Runner at second, ground ball hit to short, roughing. Well, Handel throws the first, and that retires the side. Kletzley with a double. He is left stranded. And the score after 3.5, it's W&J 2, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 2-0 W&J over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. 2-run homer in the second inning by Kyle Smith. So far, the difference in the contest. Presidents will send up Ronnie Parrish, Kyle McLean, and Kyle Smith in this bottom of the fourth against Brian Resnick. Half inning ago, we were talking about Perry Cunningham, the pitching coach of the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. I have a memory of a game that Perry Cunningham pitched against the Washington Wild Things back in 2006, an August game that the Wild Things needed to get at Chillicothe, and Cunningham was nearly unhittable, went 8 shutout innings as the Paints had a 3-0 lead. Parrish takes high, ball 1 to start the bottom of the fourth inning. Glenn Wilson, the manager of the Paints at that time, pulls Cunningham going into the ninth, and Mike Arbinger, it's a 3-run homer to tie the game, and the Wild Things end up winning in extra innings. And I can only remember, why did he pull Perry Cunningham? And thank you for doing it. 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. Parrish at the dish with a 2-0 count. It's Perry Cunningham, a very good professional pitcher in his own right, and now teaching at the collegiate level with the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. 2-0 hit to deep right center, but tracking it down, Eric Crum, because he was positioned very well against Ronnie Parrish to haul that ball in.
That ball may have sliced a little bit back towards him, making it a little bit easier, but looked like off the bat Parrish is going to have his second double of the ball game, doubled the left center, deep left center field, and to lead off the second inning. Try to go opposite field there, but run down by Crum.
Kyle McLean 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Fastball at the letters inside, ball 1. .1-0 from Brian Resnick. This fastball on the outer part of the plate for a strike. Wide of the 1-1 from Resnick. This breaking ball stays off the outside corner to the right-handed hitting McLean.
In between innings, we were talking about 80s rock music, I think, and I was listening to a little bit, trying to learn something. So if you don't need me for this half inning, maybe I'll just take the headset off and try and learn a little bit here.
2-1 pitch. Fly ball hit to right center. Tracking it down, though, in the gap is Clay Roman for the inning's second out. What was the conversation there? 80s rock music?
Like 80s pop music, something along those lines. That's rock music, all right.
Now, there's a difference, especially in the 80s, between rock and pop music. Here is Kyle Smith. He has the big hit, a 2-run homer in the second.
I was just trying to learn.
Well, we can keep the headsets on and still learn, I think. First pitch to Smith is low and in, ball one. Smith saw numerous pitches in that at-bat before eventually drilling a 2-run homer to left. And as you said, the more pitches you see, eventually you time one up, find one you like, and what Smith did against Brian Resnick. 1-0 offering, fastball high. Smith out of Pickerington, Ohio, in Central High School, 6'2", 190-pound junior. 2-0 away. Now Resnick a little shy this time in going up against Cal Smith. 3 balls and no strikes. He has walked 1 batter so far today.
And why not? No one really on base. Well, no one on base, and you don't really need to throw anything right down the heart of the plate here.
This time he does, but on a 3-0 pitch for a strike. That's the only time you can throw one over the heart of the plate.
We'll see if he's a little more selective in location. 3-1 upcoming.
Wanted in the pitch. Ground ball, pulled foul, third base side. Backhanded by Jeff Mountain, the head coach, much to the delight of his team. Backhanded with the bare hand. Who needs the leather? It wasn't hit all that hard, though. 3-2 pitch, called strike 3. The breaking ball gets Smith. And that's the 4th punch out for Resnick. 1-2-3 go the Presidents in the 4th. After 4, it's W&J 2, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Vigigroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Vigigroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Vigigroup at info@vigigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America has important information for people with asthma. There are 2 main causes of asthma symptoms: airway constriction you feel and inflammation you may not, and most medicines only treat one. At asthma.com, you'll find information about working with your doctor and treating both main causes of asthma symptoms, and how this can help prevent symptoms before they even start. This message brought to you by AAFA with funding and editorial support by GlaxoSmithKline. For more information, go to asthma.com.
To the 5th inning we go at Ross Memorial Park, 2-0 W&J. First pitch swinging, make that Clay Roman first pitch swinging, ground ball to Anthony Palladino. He gobbles it up, throws the first, 1 out in the 5th inning. As it's Mark Timmons. Timmons 0 for 1. He bounced out to Palladino during his only at-bat of the day. Eddie Nogue has yielded just 2 hits, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. A single to Truscott and a double to Kletzley. That's been it. Offering low, ball 1 to Timmons. Timmons, 5'9", senior, out of Mercersburg, PA. 1-0. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Two 2-0 W&J, 1-1 pitch, and a ground ball up the first base line. Brought into the breadbasket by Tyler Schultz. He'll take it himself at the bag. 2 outs now in the 5th.
Third baseman, Jordan Truscott.
Jordan Truscott, mentioned he had a single in the 3rd inning. Was left stranded at third base in that frame, as there was a line-out double play to end the Waynesburg threat in that particular inning. Nogue deals outside, ball 1. Hits Jordan Truscott. Had a elbow pad on his left arm, and it really hit that one flush. Knocked the elbow pad from his arm. So it didn't do too much damage, fortunately for Truscott. Hit batsman puts him aboard.
It looked like a breaking ball coming in, so something off speed, not the same damage as a fastball would have done. So just caught that elbow guard, maybe the side of it, came unvelcroed and held ahead to first base.
Now it's Neil Yakupin. Yakupin, 5'8", junior. Check signs with Mike Humiston as Eddie Nogue from the stretch delivers curveball on the inside corner.
Certainly you'd like to see the runner try and move up into scoring position here. Truscott, one stolen base attempt, and it was not successful. So minimal running done by him this year.
0-1, fastball wave and a miss. Now 0-2 on Yakupin. Yellow Jackets team batting average of .305 entering the tournament, fourth best in the conference. Waynesburg doesn't run very much, 17 stolen bases collectively. 0-2, swing and a miss for strike three. Truscott left at first base. After 4.5, it's W&J 2, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand. But I do. I'm attorney Dan Foster, Mr. Debt Buster. I'm not here to judge, I'm here to help. Call 877-673-3282 or visit MrDebtBuster.com. There is a way out, and I'll help get you there.
Foster Law Offices is a debt relief agency helping people file for relief under the U.S. Bankruptcy Code.
Mr. Big Sports Grill and Tap Room, Washington's premier sports restaurant, offering an all-day lunch and dinner menu featuring a wide variety of items, including Mr. Big's platter, ribs, boneless wings, and shrimp. Stop in and enjoy what's on any of their 25 HD TVs, or relax on the fully seated patio. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. with live entertainment every weekend. Located at 595 Racetrack Road off I-79 at exit 41, down from the Meadows. Mr. Big's.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 2-0 W&J over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. 2-run homer by Kyle Smith in the second inning, and that's really all you need to know to catch yourself up in this one. Bottom of the order due up for the Presidents against Brian Resnick in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, both pitchers very difficult to hit. Outside of that home run, just 5 hits total, 2 by Waynesburg, 3 by W&J.
Derek McIlvain starts off the fifth with a strike at the knees delivered to him by Resnick. McIlvain struck out swinging in the second inning. Resnick with 4 punch-outs so far. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-1. Yellow Jackets going with their ace, Brian Resnick, against the W&J ace, Eddie Nogue. And the 1-1. Ground ball past the glove of Resnick and up the middle, base hit. Leadoff single for McIlvain. McIlvain out of Chartiers Houston High School, just up the road from Washington, PA. He stands at first base, and we talked about earlier how W&J likes to attack opponents with their speed. They lead the conference in stolen bases with 85, but they'll bunt runners over, move them around, whatever it takes. Hit and runs.
McIlvain's one of those that does like to run.
Pick off throw over to first, back in safely. Now McIlvain, 15 stolen bases, tied for first in the conference. First baseman Bensinger for the Yellow Jackets holding McIlvain on. Good lead at the circle cut. And a bunt attempt put down, foul by Tyler Schultz. 2-0 W&J in the bottom of the fifth. Tomorrow on the docket on the PAC Sports Network, a triple header in the PAC Baseball Championships starting at noon. We know one participant, the Thomas More Saints. They're awaiting the winner of this game. Another pickoff throw sliding in safely is McIlvain. Game 2 will pit the Bethany Bison against the loser of this game. And then game 3 tomorrow, 6 p.m. Yeah.
Loser of the first game, winner of the second game.
0-1 pitch. Called a strike, another bender. I'm glad to have you along with us today on the PAC Sports Network. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Piles, bringing you all the action and every pitch, every inning of the PAC Baseball Tournament. Earlier today, Thomas More defeating Bethany 14-5. This is game 2, the nightcap, if you will, of our doubleheader. 0-2 pitch, up out of the zone. Schultz goes after it, fouls it away, out of play. More signs from head coach Jeff Mountain.
Well, certainly easier to run on a breaking pitch than it is a fastball. 0-2 count. Can't be too sure what's going to come here out of the hand of Brian Resnick.
From the stretch, Resnick peeks over his left shoulder at the runner. False start type move by McIlvain. Pitches a ball. McIlvain back to first. Resnick checking over signs with catcher Mark Timmons. Finds one he likes and comes set. Nobody out, runner at first, 2-0 Presidents, and a pitch out and a throw back into first. Ball not handled by Bensinger. Looked like McIlvain was back in safely anyway. Trying to catch McIlvain running, but nothing doing that time as the Yellow Jackets employ the pitch out. Another pickoff throw. A lot of attention paid to McIlvain, but justifiably so. Again, a pickoff throw to first base. This trickles through Bensinger, but just a couple of feet away. PAC Baseball Championships on the PAC Sports Network, brought to you by Sport Clips, Triple, Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living, Sharps Furniture, Mr. Big Sports Grill and Tap Room, and Foster Law Offices, as well as Visu Group and Time Ad Productions. 2-2 is low. Full count on Tyler Schultz.
Well, now I think you'll see him running with a full count, maybe to try and stay out of a double play here.
Resnick taking his time. McIlvain on the move. 3-2 fouled away, right side of the ball yard and beyond. Sun setting in western Pennsylvania as the fielders on the right side of the yard having to deal with that setting sun.
Yeah, especially the first baseman, probably on a pickoff attempt. That's probably where the sun would be directly in a fielder's eyes. Very difficult over there.
2-0 W&J in the bottom of the fifth. And once again, a throw toward Bensinger. Yeah, he has the most difficult task at this point, Matt Bensinger, in so many different facets. One, you're trying to hold McIlvain, but as you said, Justin, the sun shining directly in his eyes. No sunglasses right now for Bensinger either. 3-2 pitch, McIlvain on the move. Ground ball is fair up the third base line as it scoots by the glove of Jordan Truscott. And playing it in left field in foul territory, Ben Shorthouse, as McIlvain goes from first to third and Schultz is aboard.
Well, back-to-back singles to start the fifth. W&J in business, looking to expand their lead here. Palladino will stand in, the number 9 hitter. So many things you can do again with the 9 hitter up at bat. McIlvain on third, very good speed, certainly.
So with back-to-back base hits, here's Anthony Palladino, walked in the third. And a step over, move toward third, look back to first. Much to the dismay of Joe Toscano here in the press box. Does not like the move. It's not legal anymore in Major League Baseball. First pitch, a ball to Palladino. You know, the old fake move to third, look back to first. Every once in a while you get a base runner, but not often enough for Joe's liking. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off by Palladino, 1-1. Waynesburg trailing 2-0. Presidents threatening for more here. Runners at the corners, and nobody out of the bottom of the fifth. Palladino, the 9-hitter in the batting order. Sophomore out of Mount Lebanon High School. 1-1. Fly ball shallow left, and Shorthouse cannot make the catch as it bloops in front of him. McIlvain scores. It's 3-0 W&J. Runners at first and second.
Shorthouse charging hard on that ball. I don't know how much it bounced in front of him. Looked like he had an attempt to maybe come forward and make a sliding catch, or at least attempt a sliding catch, but decided to play it safe. So the run will score. A base hit for Palladino.
Palladino's 9th RBI of the year. And now it's Michael Ruffing. Ruffing singled in the 30s, 1 for 2. Jeff Mountain calls him over for a quick conversation, just a few words, and sends him back. So the Presidents tack on a run. RBI single by Palladino. Brings home McIlvain. Right now, Waynesburg has to limit the damage in this inning. Disappointed surely that it's a 3-0 score, as here comes Perry Cunningham out to talk with Resnick. Resnick and Nogue have been terrific so far today, but Resnick touched up just slightly, a 2-run homer in the second, and now giving up 3 straight singles to start this fifth. Presidents 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. The Yellow Jackets only 2 hits today. They have been scattered against Eddie Nogue.
His action in the Jackets bullpen, this could be, to buy a little bit of time for them. But I think if you're Brian Resnick, you need to focus right now and focus on getting some outs, because he is the Jackets ace, and I think they're going to go as far in this game as he can take them. Certainly offense has not been there against Eddie Nogue with just 2 hits, but trying to limit the damage and get out of this inning and keep it a 3-run deficit is top priority right now for the Yellow Jackets.
Ruffing, left-handed hitter, shows bunt, pulls back, takes a breaking pitch up high, ball 1. First baseman Benzinger crashing down the line. Second baseman Yakupin ready to cover first for him. Third baseman Truscott a shade in front of the third base bag there.
He'll certainly read the bunt.
Resnick's 1-0. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Ruffing.
Looks like the arm out in the bullpen is Colton Lippincott, freshman, 6'2". It's always nice having a spotter.
Resnick, long look at the runner at second, deals a 2-0, bunt laid down by Ruffing. Resnick will play it off the mound, throw to first, with Yakupin covering the bag. Sacrifice 1-4, advancing to third is Schultz, to second Palladino.
I think everybody will take that result with the way the inning has gone so far. Waynesburg will take the out, and certainly W&J will take the runners moving up. Now here's the big out, or the big hitter, if you will, for W&J's side. 1 out. Runners at second and third. You would think maybe the infield might creep in a little bit.
And indeed, the infield will come in. Not all the way in. Corner infielders, even with the bags. Middle infield in a shade. Now the middle infielders coming farther in. First pitch, a breaking ball, a strike to Vento. And the shortstop, Nathan Morai, he was paying a little bit of attention to Palladino at second and then decided to move on in. Runners at second and third, one out, 3-0 W&J in the fifth. 0-1 from Resnick, breaking ball, line over the leaping glove of Jakobin and into right field. In to score is Schultz. Palladino held up at third. It's 4-0 W&J on the Nick Vento RBI single.
Nice piece of hitting by Vento, hitting that ball where it was pitched, outside pitch, outer half of the plate, and just knocked it over the second baseman's head out into right center field. Excellent job of hitting. He's aboard, and W&J has another run.
Josh Stanish 0 for 2, a couple of flyouts today. Mentioning that setting sun affecting the base runner at first, Nick Vento had to shade his eyes in order to read the signs from Jeff Mountain, the head coach out at the third base box. At the corners are the runners for the President. Stanish wants time, granted to him by home plate umpire Lou Kammermeyer. And the pitch from Resnick, breaking ball high to Stanish. Josh Stanish becoming the all-time hits leader on April 19th, part of a 3-hit day, and an 11-5 win over Thomas Moore. Old mark was 221 hits. Stanish well beyond that now. 1-0. Runner from first with a false start move. No throw from the catcher Tibbins is Vento back to first base.
We talked about this in the first game with the Thomas Moore hitters. Once you get into the heart of their order, what a gauntlet it is. Well, Brian Resnick is staring at a gauntlet right now with Josh Stanish at the plate and Ronnie Parrish on deck.
4-0 Presidents with one out. Runners at the corner. Stanish drills one to deep right. Crum is back, looks up, and it's out of here. 3-run homer by Josh Stanish. And the Presidents play long ball again. It's 7-0.
Now that one was a no-doubter off the bat as well. Absolutely pulverized over the right field fence.
2-run homer in the second inning by Kyle Smith. And then in the fifth, after 4 singles, including an RBI single by Nick Vento, a 3-run bomb by Josh Stanish has opened things up big time. For Stanish, home run number 1 on the season. Gives him RBIs 37, 38, and 39. The conference leader in ribbies. And here comes Mike Humeston, and that will be it for Brian Resnick. Resnick very good through 4 innings, but in the fifth he's touched up. 5 runs on the board for W&J. Well, we saw this in the first game where Thomas Moore put up a crooked number in the third inning. A 7 spot that blew open that contest as the Saints would go on to win 14-5. Here in the fifth, the big inning by the Presidents has them in command and has Waynesburg going to the pen. And new pitcher for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets is Colton Lippincott, 6'2" freshman out of Waynesburg Central High School. Totals on Lippincott this year. This will be his team-leading 14th appearance. He's 2-2 with a 4.85 ERA and 1 save to his credit at 29 2/3 innings. Has allowed 29 hits, 22 runs, 16 earned, with 13 walks and 14 strikeouts.
Book is closed on Brian Resnick after the Josh Stanish home run. He lasts 4 1/3, gives up 7 runs, all of them earned, 8 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
So big inning here by W&J. And the winner of this contest will face Thomas Moore tomorrow at noon. Right now the Presidents have a leg up on that. Bethany will take part in the 3 p.m. game tomorrow afternoon here from Ross Memorial. They'll await the loser of this contest, which right now on the trailing end of a 7-0 score is Waynesburg. And then we'll have the third game of our triple header tomorrow at 6 p.m. Of course, opponents to be determined by tomorrow's action. This is the president's, or the PAC Sports Network's third year in a row of covering the PAC Baseball Championships, and a lot of fun in being here. We always enjoy it. It turns out that all 3 years have been at Ross Memorial, and we appreciate the hospitality from Scott McGinnis and the folks here at W&J, as well as the President's Athletic Conference, Joan Derrico and Kevin Fenstermacher. Here in Game 2 of our doubleheader on the opening day of the tournament action, it's 7-0 Presidents, and now to the dish, it's Ronnie Parrish to face Lippincott. Lippincott delivers a fastball outside, the right-hander, ball one. Now the 1-0, wide of the pitch. Outside again, 2 balls and no strikes to Parrish. Parrish doubled and scored in the second inning, flew out to right in the fourth.
Hit the ball hard twice so far.
Lippincott, also a soccer player during his high school days at Waynesburg Central, as well, of course, a baseball player, lettered 4 years. 2-0 high this time, 3-0 to Parrish. Lippincott right now failing to find the strike zone. Wind, which has been blowing out most of the day, has halted for the moment, 3-0. This time a strike on the outer portion of the plate. Seven nothing W&J, 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the fifth. Ground ball on a hop right back to Lippincott. He'll take his time, throw to first. 2 down in the fifth.
Third baseman, Kyle McLean.
Kyle McLean 0 for 2, struck out looking in the second, flew out to center in the fourth. Wind starts to kick up again out from center field toward right. Lippincott, fastball is strike. Well, on what has been a beautiful sunny day, and with the sun setting, shade falling over the yard in certain areas, foul territory, third base side. Also a portion of left center field where the Memorial Park scoreboard stands. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Kyle McLean. Lippincott winds and delivers. Chopper, foul, third base way. It's been a long bottom of the fifth. Eddie Nogue will appreciate the run support in this fifth inning, that's for sure. 2 runs in the second, 5 in this fifth. We mentioned earlier, W&J not necessarily a home run hitting team, but 5 of the 7 runs have come across on home runs. 2 balls and 2 strikes on McLean. Lippincott's offering. Fastball outside. Stanish hitting his first home run of the season. Kyle Smith with his third. Presidents now in double digits with 10 long balls. They're actually 11 long balls on the year, thanks to their work today. Payoff pitch to McLean. It's outside, ball 4. 9th batter of the inning will come up in the form of Kyle Smith.
Designated hitter, Kyle Smith.
Now Smith jump-started things with that aforementioned 2-run homer in the second inning. Has McLean at first, who inches out his lead. Lippincott turns and throws the first on the pickoff move. Back standing McLean. A big day in sports. The NFL draft today. We've already had a preview of the draft here in the press box.
I think they planned out the entire draft, actually.
Fastball upstairs.
Tonight's just the first round, though.
Now, this is one of those great times of year where you have baseball, pro hockey playoffs, NHL playoffs, and the NBA playoffs. Of course, here we are, Division III PAC Baseball Championships. NFL draft tonight. Pretty much whatever sport you like, something's going on. And if you like them all, flip the channels. But keep it on the PAC Sports Network here today. 1-0, and they've got the runner going from first to second, throwing to second base as McLean had committed. And the Yellow Jackets were ready for it. Caught stealing, ends the inning, but the W&J Presidents come up with 5, including a 3-run homer by Josh Stanish. Score after 5 innings. It's W&J 7, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Yo, what's up? This is the Black Eyed Peas, and we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in our lives, but nothing is more important than life itself. So when you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road. Don't plan to drive, just plan ahead.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 7-0 W&J over the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets. Eric Crum will lead off. He is 0 for 2, lined out into an inning-ending double play in the 3rd inning. That's one of our plays in the scorebook where we have a circle around it, that line out in the 3rd. A huge play, and we'll get back to it in a moment. His first pitch, a strike from Eddie Nogue. At the time, it was 2-0 W&J. The Yellow Jackets had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and a line shot hit to short. Pitch in the dirt to Crum, 1 ball, 1 strike. Line shot to short that was snared by roughing, and then he out-hustled Neil Jacopin to the second base bag to double him up, and that ended the Waynesburg threat. And while they've had some runners on since then, that's easily been their best threat of the day. 1-1, a strike at the knees, 1-2.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity in that inning. A little bit of bad luck, too. That ball's hit basically anywhere else on the field, results in a run, but
1-2 low, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Crum.
Still, Eddie Nogue is dealing just the 2 hits so far for the Yellow Jackets. It's looking as strong as ever right now on top of the 6th inning.
2-2. Crum pulls this one well down the right field line, and this will one-hop the fence in fair territory. Crum headed to second. He'll pull up there with a leadoff double.
Well, that was the hardest hit ball of the night for Waynesburg. Didn't know if he was going to keep that one fair or not. Looked like he was out on his front foot, but Crum able to keep it fair. One-hop the wall out there. Waynesburg in business. Leadoff runner at second base.
Yeah, breaking ball that Crum jumped. And as you said, Justin, a matter of fair or foul. And it did stay fair, and one-hop the short fence in right. 7-0 W&J. Waynesburg hoping to act quickly here to trickle down this lead. Nathan Morai, who's 0 for 2, is the next batter. Nogue from the stretch looks back at the runner and deals a breaking ball high.
Now, still plenty of time in this game. You obviously don't want to be down 7 runs heading into the 9th inning, but still with this at bat plus 3 more in front of them. Waynesburg a little bit of time right now, but have to start getting into this deficit a little bit.
1-0 on the outside edge. And for Waynesburg, the problem with falling behind as they have, toughed them out a comeback against the likes of Eddie Nogue, who's 27-2 in his career, 1-1, low and away in the dirt.
And being down 7-0 is a problem, but the bigger problem is the 0 on their side of the scoreboard right now. No offense. When you have no offense, you're not going to win any games. You have to score runs.
Nogue brings the 2-1, fouled off, a liner back to the netting. Double by Eric Crum starts off the sixth. Morai battling with 2 balls and 2 strikes on him. 7-0 Presidents in the sixth. The 2-2 just misses outside. And a full count.
There's a lot of umpires that thought that was strike 3.
Very much so. See if we can get some of that on our crowd mic. Three-2. Ground ball past the mound, headed up the middle and through. Base hit. Crum being waved around. Here comes the throw from Stanish. It's cut off, and the Yellow Jackets on the board. It's 7-1. RBI single by Nathan Morai.
Well, that's what it's going to take. A lot more of those types of hits, but broken the ice. First run is across for the Yellow Jackets. Still plenty of time in this inning to do more scoring.
John Kletzley, he doubled in the 4th inning. Yellow Jackets could go for another one of those. 1 for 2 today, left-handed hitter. Kletzley, mentioned earlier, second in the league in hits and RBIs. Takes ball 1.
Jay really shading him towards that right side. Third baseman McLean well off the third base bag. There's a ball down into the left field corner. Morai may have a chance to score. I don't know that you risk it at this point, but certainly a lot of room out in the left field line.
Chopper first base side over the glove of Schultz and played in shallow right by Palladino. So if nothing else, Palladino keeps Morai to second base. Runners at first and second on the base hit by Kletzley. Now the Waynesburg dugout quite vocal as they're trying to root on their troops here for a comeback victory. They're down 7-1, knowing that time is of the essence here in the 6th.
Now, heart of the order right now, cleanup hitter Matt Benziger ready to stand in. So this is the part of the lineup you want if you're Waynesburg.
Matt Benziger, the cleanup man, 0 for 2. Nogue double takes the runner at second, brings a strike on the inside part of the plate to Benziger, left-handed hitter. Mike Humiston delivers signs, and during the lineup card exchange directly thereafter, we can hear Mike Humiston hollering to his dugout, "All right, let's go." But it was, of course, much louder than that, and might have scared some folks as well. He's a big man and an intimidating presence that he has. He played 6 years of NFL football as a linebacker. And when he tells you let's go, you're moving.
You're ready to go.
You are suddenly ready to go. It could be 5 a.m. and you're dead asleep, but if he tells you let's go, you're ready. Right now it's 7-1 as the Yellow Jackets trying to get going now. 0-1 inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That ought to get the dugout up at least, scoring that first run, having 2 runners aboard. No action of any kind anywhere close to the W&J bullpen, so this inning is Nogue's to work out of.
Nogue's 1-1. Ground ball off the glove of Nogue. Trickles slowly to Yakub and throw to first. Not in time. Bases are loaded.
You know, sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, but where you hit it. That ball, along with the chopper hit by Kletzley, that's a couple of balls where it could be routine if they're hit different places, but difficult plays there. The one just out of the reach of Schultz at first base, and most recent one off of Nogue's glove. And when you have a ball up the middle like that and it goes off of the pitcher's glove, you have the infielder that's moving one way has to shift back another way, and that's how Palladino had to react to that ball. By the time he got to it, there was no chance to get Benziger at first base.
Now, the old saying of hit 'em where they ain't has been taken to heart by the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets in this inning. As you described, a chopper by Kletsley just over Schultz, who was holding the runner at the bag. Had he not, it would have been a routine out. Same difference here. Ground ball that just hits off the edge of the glove of Nogue. If perhaps he lets that go, might be another story, but it's the bases loaded now with nobody out here in the sixth. Waynesburg trailing 7-1, and Ben Shorthouse at the dish.
And always reliable reliever Mike Vizzini just ran down to the W&J bullpen. I don't think he was accompanied by a catcher, but I assume one is either already down there or going to join him shortly.
Nogue deals a fastball, wave and a miss by Shorthouse for strike one. Glad to have you along on the PAC Sports Network. Presidents jumping out to a 7-0 lead, but Waynesburg already with one across the pay station and looking for more. Bases loaded, nobody out. Nogue's pitch. High fly ball to right. Coming in is McIlvain. Hustling, makes the catch chest high, tagging from third, but staying put ultimately is Morai for out number one. Ben Shorthouse with a fly out to right field.
McIlvain, very strong arm in right field. Definitely not the time to test that. A wise move to stay at third base.
A similar situation to what we saw in the game earlier, where as you're behind, you want a big inning. A sac fly isn't necessarily what you're going for. A fly out to shallow right, you're not going to chance it, not to take yourself out of this situation.
Right. Certainly you'll take the runs if they're a sure thing, but definitely a play at the plate, and possibly a play at the plate not in favor of Waynesburg. So anytime that you're not sure with a big deficit like this, you'd definitely rather play it safe.
Clay Roman, chopper to second. Shortstop roughing, plays it, steps on the bag, throw to first, inning ending, double play. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the Presidents get out of it. The Yellow Jackets do come up with one run, but they leave two stranded. After 5.5, it's W&J 7, Waynesburg 1. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
For 3 generations, Sharp's Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharp's carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharp's Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA. When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
PAC Baseball Championships, Game 2 of our doubleheader in Game 1 of the tournament. And in this second contest, it's W&J leading Waynesburg 7-1. A couple of double plays have taken Waynesburg out of potential big innings.
Yeah, it's unfortunate just not able to get the timely hit. Certainly the table was set there. First 4 men reaching base in the top of the 6th for Waynesburg, plating just 1 run. Certainly Yellow Jackets will look back on this game, win or lose, and say, there was an opportunity there in the top of the 6th and unable to take further advantage of it. And that's really it could be a turning point or a point to look back on, at least in this game.
1-0 pitch up the middle for Kyle Smith in a base hit, leadoff single for the W&J Presidents as Lippincott continues to work in relief for the Yellow Jackets. Lippincott checked in to get the final 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And Kyle Smith, who hit a 2-run homer in the second inning, on aboard once again. He touched them all the first time at the bat. Here a single, and it's Derek McIlvain standing in next. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Lippincott from the stretch now with a runner aboard. A liner to second, played by Jakobin. Throw back to first, double play.
How many times are we going to see a line drive turn into a double play today? Ball hit on the screws, but right at Jakobin. That was an easy double play with Smith not really running towards second base, but just with his lead, a short throw from second to first. It's an easy double off there for Waynesburg.
Fourth double play of the day, 2 for each team.
Seems like the hardest hit balls in this game have resulted in double plays.
Tyler Schultz, with the bases empty and 2 down, takes outside for a ball from Lippincott. 7-1 Presidents. Home runs by Smith and Stanish have been part of the run support for the Presidents this afternoon and evening. 1-0 is high. Lippincott with a 2-0 count on Schultz. Bottom of the 6th. Lippincott's wide of the pitch. Outside, 3-0. Wide of the next offering. Downstairs again, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Tyler Schultz. He is on for the second time today, and now it's Anthony Palladino. He's reached twice, a walk in the 3rd, an RBI single in the 5th, and a run scored. W&J hoping to meet Thomas More in the noontime game tomorrow. If they hold on to this 7-1 lead, they will. Trying to add on to it at the moment. Throw back to first. Schultz sliding in safely. Schultz 3 for 4 on stolen base attempts this year. Pitch hit into right center field by Palladino. Running catch made by Eric Crum in the gap. And that ends the frame. A single by Kyle Smith. He was erased on a double play and a walk to Tyler Schultz. 1 left stranded. And after 6 innings, it is W&J 7, Waynesburg 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
W&J leading Waynesburg 7-1 as we head to the 7th inning. Mark Timmons, Jordan Truscott, and Neil Jakobin all due up for the Yellow Jackets against Eddie Nogue, who stays in the contest after working through a dangerous situation in the 6th. First pitch swinging ground ball by Timmons to short, gobbled up by Ruffing. Sliding to his left, throw to first, 1 down in the 7th.
Nogue headed into this inning just 71 pitches, so even though he had a little bit of trouble, still low in his pitch count. Still looking strong on the mound as well. Not a whole lot of change in velocity, or at least from the eye test. Maybe a radar gun says something different, but he still looks strong from our vantage point.
Pitch a ball a bit outside to Truscott, right-handed hitter. He's reached twice today, a single in the 3rd, hit by pitch in the 5th. Nogue gets a foul ball out of play, 1-1. I agree, though, with your comments. Nogue looks just as strong as he did earlier in the contest. 1-1 pitch. Low 2-1. W&J 2 runs in the second, 5 in the fifth. Waynesburg getting 1 back in the sixth, but had the bases loaded with nobody out and could not add any more runs. 2-1 up and in from Nogue. 3-1 now on Truscott. Kicking the 3-1. Chopper third base side. Played by McIlvain near the bag. Throw to first. A strong arm by McIlvain on full display there. 2 down in the seventh.
Yeah, Kyle McLean with the rifle there at third base. Looked like a difficult play. Had to go to his right. Backhanded it on the short hop. And an absolute rifle to first base. And that's a big reason why he comes in to close ball games from time to time. You'll see him on the mound for the Presidents. Does have that strong arm, and he showed it off there.
Neil Yakupin 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the third. 7-1 Presidents, and a first pitch ground ball up the gut through the middle for a base hit. A lot of balls on the ground today, whether they be outs or base hits. But Nogue keeping the ball on the ground, that's for sure.
11 ground ball outs, 4 balls resulting in outs being in the air. So fly ball outs, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that, but fly ball outs.
Just working your way around to it.
Yeah, you know.
But even a lot of the hits, as was Yakupin's there, have been either rolled up the middle or around the infield. Some have been infield singles. Pitch a strike to Eric Crum. Crum, one of the few hits that have made it through the air, a double off the fence in right in the sixth inning. He ultimately scored in that frame. The only run of the game to this point for the Yellow Jackets. We're in the seventh. 0-1 liner up the middle. That one just stucking under it was Eddie Nogue. It's a single for Crum, his second hit of the day.
That ball almost took Nogue's head off it on the mound. Laced back up the middle. He's made good contact his last 2 at-bats. That ball stayed just fair down the right field line, resulting in a double. That one shot back up the middle.
And remember back to the third, that line-out double play he had. So he's hit the ball hard 3 times. Had 2 hits to show for it now. 7-1 Presidents, 2 on for Waynesburg with 2 outs. Nathan Morai at the dish. Breaking ball plunks Morai on the left arm, and bases are loaded for Waynesburg. They had the bases juiced in the 6th. Now they have them loaded in the 7th. Out of the bases loaded scenario in the 6th, Waynesburg did not score a run. While they did plate 1 run in the 6th inning, it was not out of the bases loaded scenario. We'll see if at any point Vizzini gets back up in the W&J bullpen. Not to this point. John Kletzley, who's 2 for 3, a double and a single, fouls one away, third base side.
Thought we might see a visit out to the mound just to get Vizzini up or get him a couple more warm-up tosses out there in the bullpen, but no such visit. And again, no action. And looks like it's up to Eddie Nogue, at least for the time being, to try and work his way out of this jam.
7-1 W&J, a chance for a big hit here for the Yellow Jackets. Fastball outside, much to the chagrin of the W&J faithful in attendance. Yakupin at third, Crum at second, Morai at first. Nogue takes a look at everyone on the bases, brings a 1-1 low, 2-1. Ronnie Parrish with a stare down of Yakupin over at third base, coming far down the third base line. Trying to get Yakupin to cheat back a little bit. McLean not holding the runner, nor should he be.
Definitely well off that third base line. He's positioned basically in the hole between shortstop and third base. Ruffing shading towards second base. Palladino very deep at second.
2-1, liner to the netting. A bit of a shift for W&J on Kletzley.
Just the infield, though. It looks like the outfield's pretty much straight up, although they are a little bit deeper. McIlvain and right, very deep.
And not to the degree that you see in some cases, whether it be major leagues or otherwise, where when you hear the shift is on, and it's a dramatic shift, like on Pedro Alvarez or somebody like that. But it's a mini shift, I guess you can call it, here for W&J.
Right.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded in the 7th. 7-1 Presidents in the pitch. High fly ball to left. Long run for Vento toward the line. Oh, and he drops it, and it drops fair. One in to score. Here comes Crum. He scores. Being waved around is Morai, and Waynesburg back in the game now big time as it is 7-4.
Boy, that ball was trouble off the bat. With Vento, we were talking about him being shifted a little bit in the outfield. He had a long, long way to come. And that ball, he was able to get there, unable to get the catch, and that ball touched in fair territory, falling in fair territory, but where it was touched in fair territory, making that a live ball. Waynesburg getting 3 runs off the air.
So an E7 on left fielder Vento, and a 3-run error, a costly one, is Jeff Mountain out to talk with Nogue. So those 3 runs will be unearned.
And any other runs the rest of the inning. 2 outs, that could have ended the inning.
You can hear the Yellow Jackets in their dugout saying 27 outs. I know the game's not over until that point. And right now it's a 7-4 game with Kletzley at second base and Matt Bensinger due up next.
Things are definitely a bit more interesting right now. And I know Nick Vento out in left field. He wants this next ball hit right at him and wants to be able to make that 3rd out of the inning. Not a good feeling when you make an error out in the field and then you have to think about it until the next ball. You want that next ball to come right away.
Bensinger watches a fastball strike. 3 spot here in the 7th is giving the Yellow Jackets hope. It was 7-0 W&J. 2 in the 2nd, 5 in the 5th, but now 1 in the 6th for Waynesburg and 3 in the 7th. Fly ball to right. Ranging back, McIlvain camps under and makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 3 runs on 2 hits, a hit batsman, and 1 very costly error. Score after 6.5, it is W&J 7 and Waynesburg 4. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
I'm attorney Dan Foster, and they call me Mr. Debt Buster because I can help clients break free from the prison of debt. Whether from medical bills, credit cards, or foreclosure, my firm helps good, hardworking people who are going through tough times. We will stop the harassing phone calls and get you the relief you deserve. Give me a call at 877-673-3282 or visit MrDebtBuster.com and let's get a plan together to bust you out of debt.
Foster Law Offices is a debt relief agency helping people file for relief under the U.S. Bankruptcy Code.
Mr. Big's Sports Grill and Tap Room, Washington's premier sports restaurant, offering an all-day lunch and dinner menu featuring a wide variety of items including Mr. Big's platter, ribs, boneless wings, and shrimp. Stop in and enjoy what's on any of their 25 HD TVs or relax on the fully seated patio. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. with live entertainment every weekend. Located at 595 Racetrack Road off I-79 at exit 41, down from the Meadows. Mr. Big's.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park, where it is a ball game once again. 7-4 the score favoring the W&J Presidents. W&J was up 7-0, but the Yellow Jackets answering with 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th inning. And all 3 runs in the 7th, scoring after 2 outs and also on a 3-run error. A fly ball by John Kletzley. Down the line and left, dropped by Nick Vento. Results in a 3-run error in Waynesburg. Down 7-4. W&J's Michael Ruffing, Nick Vento, and Josh Stanish against Lippincott. In the bottom of the 7th inning. And the right-hander Lippincott brings a strike. Colton Lippincott out of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. Lippincott's longest outing this season went 6 innings against Grove City earlier in the year. Pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So using him in the what was the 5th inning and bringing him in and now pitching into the 7th, you know that Mike Humiston's group can see some extended innings out of Lippincott in relief. Wide of the 1-1. Fastball just low, 2 balls and 1 strike, but not just innings now. You need quality innings as you're mounting your comeback.
Yeah, the dynamic of this game completely changed with Waynesburg getting those 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Before, it was Lippincott basically eating innings, trying to save the bullpen for tomorrow and subsequent games. Now you're looking at a game where just a 3-run game. You definitely need quality. You don't want to see a leadoff base runner here as Ruffing runs the count to 3-1. You want to see outs if you're the Waynesburg side and get back in the dugout and hit some more.
Here comes the 3-1. It is low, ball 4, so it is a leadoff base runner for W&J. And from the president's perspective, just as you've surrendered 3 runs in the top half of the inning, now in the president's half of the 7th, love to basically erase what Waynesburg has done.
Right, with the momentum, with the deficit right now of 3, you cannot allow W&J to increase their lead at all here in the bottom of the 7th. And certainly they're in a position to do so with the top of the order up here, but you need to shut the door here.
Ruffing at first. Lippincott from the stretch. Bunt stabbed at and missed by Vento. Strike 1. Vento RBI single in the 5th inning is 1 for 3.
It doesn't need to be a perfect bunt, just needs to be down somewhere away from the pitcher.
Lippincott eyeing the signs from catcher Mark Timmons. Finds one he likes, pickoff throw. Backsliding it safely is Ruffing. Ruffing 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts, although he hasn't been with the team for a full season due to injury issues, but we know he has the speed. You don't put him in the leadoff spot if he doesn't. Next pitch missing the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike on Vento.
He actually missed a large portion of the season, Ruffing did. And I think with him back in the leadoff spot, it makes this lineup that much more dangerous. I mean, you have Derek McIlvain hitting 7th. That just shows you how much depth there is in this President's order. And you have guys like McIlvain, Schultz, and even Palladino hitting 9th. That's some quality hitters down at the bottom of the lineup, helping to turn the top of this order.
1-1 bunt attempt crosses the foul stripe on the first base side and into foul territory. Now 1-2. And team batting average for W&J, .316. They lead the league in runs scored, 257. They lead the league in RBIs, 228. Lead the conference in stolen bases, and they flex some muscle today with a couple of home runs.
Yeah, you look at the slugging and you look at the on base too. Those are some good numbers as well. As a team that runs the bases very well once they're on base also.
1-2 pitch, fastball high. Glad you can be with us today on the PAC Sports Network. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Piles for this broadcast and every broadcast of the PAC Baseball Championship Tournament.
Always fun. Love doing this tournament. It's a great 3 days.
Weather has been beautiful today. Looking for more good weather tomorrow. 2-2. Fly ball, shallow center, and that is going to drop in on a short hop in front of Clay Roman. Tried to decoy the base runner as if he was going to make the catch and was calling for it, but Ruffing, too wise for that. He makes it the second on the base hit by Nick Vento. We're going to have a pinch runner now for Vento.
Corey Bauer going to go run for Vento at first base. Junior outfielder from Brentwood High School.
Corey Bauer 3 for 4 on stolen base attempts. He is at first with Ruffing at second. Josh Stanish hit a 3-run homer in the 5th inning. And we have a visit to the mound. Lippincott in a little bit of danger in this 7th inning in the bottom half with W&J up by 3. And it might be a call to the bullpen, and it will. So Mike Humiston takes the baseball from Colton Lippincott. Job well done. Lippincott keeps the Yellow Jackets in the game. And now it's up to one of his teammates here, Jacob Meyer, to help bail him out in this 7th inning with 2 on and nobody away.
Lippincott, good work out of the bullpen after that Stanish home run. 1 2/3 innings. Surrendered 2 hits, walked 3. Did not strike out a batter. And obviously is responsible for the 2 runners on right now. But so far, no runs have crossed the plate on his watch. So good job at least keeping W&J at bay, holding them to that 7th spot. And all that much more important with the 3 that Waynesburg put up in the top of the 7th, making it a 7-4 ball game. Still within striking distance, but they need to pitch their way out of this inning.
I know I guess there was discussions in between innings for 80s rock. What about 90s rap? Does that count, 90s rap? Because this is naughty by nature.
That's you. That's all you. That's not me at all. That's your area of expertise.
I didn't know if Joe Toscano was keeping tabs on that or not. So, no, he's not. He's not in that game. All right, well. Pitching change, the call to the bullpen, and the Yellow Jackets will bring out right-hander Jacob Meyer, making his 11th appearance of the season. Meyer 0-1 with a 6.53 ERA. 20 2/3 innings, has allowed 28 hits, 17 runs, 15 earned with 5 walks and 7 strikeouts. And again, a walk to roughing, a single by Nick Vento. Pinch runner is Corey Bauer, currently at the first base bag. And loosening up is Jacob Meyer. Well, as we talked about earlier, a big day in sports, NFL draft. The Texans are on the clock, or have they made their pick?
Texans are still on the clock.
Although I guess I should know that if a pick was made, I would have already heard about it by now, right? More than likely.
I already dissected and determined that young man's NFL future, whether he was a Hall of Famer or just a crazy, outlandish pick.
We're only missing Mel Kiper here today. That's the only one missing. Well, this one, a very exciting contest that started out with a big 7-0 lead for W&J. A 2-run homer by Kyle Smith in the second inning. A 5-run fifth punctuated by a 3-run homer by Josh Stanish made it 7-0 Presidents. But Waynesburg battling back. RBI single by Nathan Morai in the 6th and a 3-run error by the Presidents in the top of the 7th has brought this game to a 7-4 score. Josh Stanish stands in with 2 aboard and nobody out. Pitch to Stanish. He drills another one to deep right, but he yanks this one foul.
About to say a very big at-bat here. Stanish at the plate. Opportunity to add on if you're W&J. Certainly you don't want to throw him anything up in the zone.
And whatever that last pitch was, don't throw him that again. Now, that was a breaking ball.
That was a breaking ball that ran in. He could not keep it fair. So not a bad pitch to throw if it's so far inside that he cannot get the barrel of the bat around to keep it fair. Just a long strike.
Jacob Meyer takes a look at the runner at second. Double takes roughing, brings to the plate. Stanish fouls this one off. And it's now 0-2. Looks like quite a bit of differential in velocity between Meyer and Lippincott. Lippincott, the tall right-hander. A little more heat on that fastball. Meyer trying to catch Stanish off balance here. 0-2, fastball high.
Just a different look. He gives you a different look, not just change of speed, but arm slot on the mound as well. A little shorter than the other 2 pitchers.
Yeah, 5'7" is Meyer.
Have to pick up the baseball. Also that odd time of night where it's not quite dark and not quite day, so the lights are on. You have maybe a little bit difficulty seeing the ball.
Meyer steps off, looks the runner roughing back towards second, although he wasn't all that far away from the bag to begin with. Meyer, a freshman pitcher from Ellicott City, Maryland, and Mount Hebron High School. 1-2, fly ball, hit well by Stanish, but there to make the catch is Eric Crum. Innings first out, tagging from second and moving to third is roughing. Runners at the corners.
There's just an awesome picture on Twitter, the W&J Twitter account that I just retweeted from our PAC Sports Twitter account of the pitch that Stanish hit his 3-run home run on back in the 5th inning. You see the baseball coming in just before it meets the barrel of the bat.
Now that is quick work, turning that picture around.
Yeah.
And good work by Stanish to turn that pitch around. as it was a 3-run homer back in the 5th inning.
Yeah, I like the swing there. Good balance, good power, good hip rotation into that ball.
And you retweeted that, correct?
Yeah, from our PAC Sports Twitter account, at PAC Sports. You can follow us not just during the baseball tournament, but all year long.
Throw over to first, and backsliding and safely is Bauer. Runners at the corners, 1 out, 7-4 Presidents in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ronnie Parrish waiting for his first pitch. As Justin said, you can follow us on Twitter at PAC Sports. And there's Joe Toscano's favorite. Step over, look to third, back to first, nothing doing.
Jadeveon Clowney was the first overall pick in the NFL draft. The Houston Texans take the defensive end from South Carolina.
Meyer, breaking ball, fouled off right field side. This has suddenly turned into a hotbed of information here. Just whatever you need to know.
Coming at you from all angles.
It's tremendous. Parrish, a double and a run scored back in the 2nd inning, 1 for 3. Looking for a big hit here for the Presidents in the bottom of the 7th. Pickoff throw, Bauer back in, head first, safely. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for W&J, 4 runs on 8 hits, and no errors for the Yellow Jackets. Long pause by Meyer, and too long as Parrish wants time. Jacob Meyer, we mentioned, a freshman at Waynesburg, also a Bonner Scholar at Waynesburg. You have to log a lot of community service hours in that program. Later 2 years at Mount Hebron High School, Howard County All-Star Game participant. Trying to work out of the jam here in the 7th. 0-1 in the dirt. Runner Bauer takes off, and he is in there safely. Wild pitch moves Bauer to second, 2 in scoring position. Ronnie Parrish with a 1-1 count. So all of that attention paid by Meyer, and Bauer gets second base anyway on a wild pitch. And the infield now creeping in for the Yellow Jackets. Waynesburg making their first appearance in this PAC tournament since 2005. And in recent years, you could see the trend coming. Waynesburg making the ECAC South tournament the last 2 years, winning the ECAC South championship a year ago, posting an overall winning mark. This year, under 500 overall, but 13-11 in the conference. 1-1 pitch inside to Parrish, 2-1.
You always like to see programs making strides and improving. Just in the couple years that we've done this, we've seen a variety of different teams.
And the majority of the conference we have seen. And a pitch out, going to intentionally walk Ronnie Parrish with first base open. And that ball was high, but over the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Mark Timmons says, put it out here to his right. And this time it is ball 4. So intentional walk of Ronnie Parrish loads him up.
Sometimes that's an odd thing because it's not something that you practice or you don't practice a whole lot of. Throwing high to the catcher standing up on the mound, a little different.
Kyle McLean 0 for 2 with a walk. Bats with the bases loaded. 7-4 W&J with the lead.
You like nothing more than a ground ball from Waynesburg's standpoint, clean it up and get out of the inning.
Middle infield at double play depth.
Corner guys are in.
Meyer gets a strike on the outside edge. We've had 2 double plays on each side today. 0-1. Chopper. This will get into the hole. It's short. It's knocked down by Morai, but nothing he can do with it. Infield single for Kyle McLean. Ups the President's lead to 8-4.
Yeah, that ball, once it got past third baseman Truscott, really no play to be made. Just a good job by Morai to keep that in the infield. But Really another one of those balls. We've seen it off the Waynesburg bat today, just where it was hit, tough to make a play on.
Kyle Smith 2 for 3, 2-run homer in the second. And here comes Perry Cunningham to talk with his right-hander. And new baseballs on the way for our home plate umpire, Lou Kammermeyer. Earlier today, Thomas More defeating Bethany 14-5 in Game 1 of the tournament. So Thomas More in the noontime game tomorrow, Bethany in the 3 p.m. game. The winner of this one will face Thomas More. The loser will face Bethany. And right now, the Presidents with an 8-4 lead and a chance to break it open again. They had grabbed a 7-0 lead after 5, but Waynesburg battling back to cut it to 7-4. 3 unearned runs in the 7th inning on a dropped fly ball. The fly ball was hit by Kletzley and dropped by Vento down the line and left. That allowed 3 Yellow Jackets to score, but the Presidents come up with 1 in this bottom half of the 7th. RBI single by Kyle McLean moments ago, and as Perry Cunningham returns to the dugout. Kyle Smith awaits his first pitch from Jacob Meyer. Meyer takes a look at the runner at first, delivers to the plate, and brings a strike. Heading toward twilight time now in western Pennsylvania. Wind continues to blow out to right field. 0-1. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch to the right-handed hitting Kyle Smith.
Yeah, great location. Stay there. If you're Meyer, already saw what happens when you bring a ball on the inner half of the plate to Smith. He'll deposit it out over the left field fence.
8-4 Presidents, 0-2 the count on Smith. Bases are loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. With the 0-2, breaking ball fouled away.
Glad to hear the organ's still working.
Over at Consol Energy Park.
They tune it nicely.
Sean King, the organist, right?
Right.
0-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Jacob Meyer gets the punch out of Kyle Smith. Big strikeout there with the bases juiced. Now it's Derek McIlvain.
Well, it doesn't get any easier with McIlvain up, but certainly a big strikeout there. Trying to get out of this, just giving up 1 run.
Presidents leading by 4. They've gotten 1 across the pay station in this 7th. McIlvain accepts downstairs, ball 1. McIlvain lined out into a double play in the 6th. As we mentioned, 2 double plays hit into by each team. 2 outs right now in the 7th with the bases filled with Presidents. 1-0. Strike on the inside corner. McIlvain, the conference leader in runs scored. Trying to do some damage to drive in some runs. 1-1 pitch kicks away from Timmons. In to score from third is Bauer. And it's 9 for W&J on the wild pitch. Rudders advance to second and third. Parrish to third and McLean to second. So the pinch runner Bauer comes across on the second wild pitch of the inning by Jacob Meyer. Two-1. Fly ball hit well left center by McIlvain, but there to make the catch is Shorthouse as he ranges to his left and the ball slicing toward him for the inning's final out. 2 left stranded by W&J, but 2 across for W&J as well. And the score after 7 innings, it's the Presidents 9, the Yellow Jackets 4. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just-for-guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Yo, what's up? This is the Black Eyed Peas, and we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in our lives, but nothing is more important than life itself. So when you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road. Don't plan to drive, just plan ahead.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
At W&J's Ross Memorial Park, it is 9-4 Presidents. 9 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors. Waynesburg 4 runs on 8 hits and no errors. And on to the 8th we go. Ben Shorthouse, Clay Roman, and Mark Timmons due up for Waynesburg.
All the good that Waynesburg did in the top of the 7th was more or less negated by the 2 runs they surrendered in the bottom of the 7th. And now it's the same mountain to climb, but it feels like they already climbed it once. And now staring again at a big deficit, 5 runs now instead of 6, but still a big deficit nonetheless. Nogue back out here to start the 8th.
Shorthouse first pitch a strike. Next one is a strike on the outside corner. Shorthouse right-handed hitting left fielder 0 for 3 today. 0-2 is low, below the knees. Shorthouse out of Franklin Regional High School. A lot of Panthers out on the field, or former Panthers for both teams. 1-2 check swing, and an offering in the dirt from Nogue. You mentioned Josh Stanish from Franklin Regional. Ben Shorthouse.
Nick Vento.
Some former high school teammates. 2-2 chopper right side of the infield. Backing up is Jacopin. Or excuse me, make that Palladino, rather. Hauls that in and throws on to first for the inning's first out. 4-3. Shorthouse retired. Clay Roman 0 for 3. Hit into a double play in the 6th. Inning-ending DP. As the Yellow Jackets in that inning had the bases loaded and nobody out, and scored no runs out of that particular situation. Pitch a strike to Roman. Clay Roman, a second-team All-PAC selection last year, checks his swing on the 0-1 pitch, blowing away in the dirt. Roman hit .331 last season, 35 runs scored, 15 stolen bases. Out of Bentleyville in Washington County, Bentworth High School. Now 2-1 the count on him. 9-4 Presidents, 1 out in the 8th. Fastball by Nogue jams Roman. Gloved in front of the second base bag by the shortstop Ruffing. Had to go a long way to his left to reel that ball in, and retires Roman 6-3. Mark Timmons 0 for 3. So the middle infielders getting in on the mix. Palladino on the first out. Top-notch play by Ruffing. Displaying the range. Timmons takes inside, ball 1.
Nogue has done good work against the middle of the Waynesburg order today. 12 at-bats, just 1 hit from the 4 through 6 hitters.
1-0, line or foul over the first base dugout. Yellow Jackets in the first base dugout. The homestanding Presidents in the third base dugout. 9-4 W&J, 1-1 curveball fouled off, same direction as the last. Mark Timmons from Mercersburg, PA, and James Buchanan High School. 1-2 pitch from Nogue, jams Timmons, pulls it foul third base way. After the Presidents tacked on 2 in the bottom of the 7th, Nogue with a renewed spirit out there on the mound here in this 8th. 1-2, just off the outside corner.
Just past pitch number 100 for Nogue. Obviously, they'll try and get him to finish out this inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-run lead for the Presidents. Pitch outside. Full count now on Mark Timmons. Eddie Nogue, the all-time wins leader for W&J with the payoff pitch. Chopper, third base side, and foul, handled by Mike Humiston. Mike Humiston, in his 9th year at Waynesburg, took over the head coaching duties in 2005. Had spent the previous 8 years as an assistant coach with the Waynesburg baseball program. Part of the successful years in the late 90s and early 2000s. Somewhat fitting that Waynesburg and Bethany both end long droughts and making it back here. They were powerhouses back in their day. 3-2 to right center, pulled in by center fielder Josh Danish. And 1-2-3 go the Yellow Jackets in the 8th after 7.5 at Ross Memorial Park. It's W&J 9, Waynesburg 4. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA. Mr. Big's Sports Grill and Tap Room, Washington's premier sports restaurant, offering an all-day lunch and dinner menu featuring a wide variety of items, including Mr. Big's Platter, ribs, boneless wings, and shrimp. Stop in and enjoy what's on any of their 25 HD TVs, or relax on the fully seated patio. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. with live entertainment every weekend. Located at 595 Racetrack Road off I-79 at exit 41, down from the Meadows. Mr. Big's.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 9-4 W&J as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yellow Jackets retired in order in the top half as a new pitcher checks in for the Yellow Jackets. In the bottom half, it is right-hander David Cross, a freshman out of Plum High School in Plum, PA. The 4th pitcher of the day for Waynesburg. And David Cross to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order for W&J. Cross brings a fastball on the outside edge. Give you the numbers on Cross in a moment. 6 appearances, 1 start. He's 0-1 with an 8.10 ERA. Pitch up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike on right-handed hitting Tyler Schultz.
I know you're curious, and the Cleveland Browns just traded their pick to the Buffalo Bills.
Really? Well, I know some others in the booth here are curious. 1-1, fouled out of play. This is your central location for the PAC Sports Baseball Championships and the NFL Draft in some cases.
And 80s rock music and a whole bunch of other useless knowledge.
You stay tuned. You might learn the final Jeopardy answer tomorrow night. 1-2, breaking ball, grounded off the left side of the mound and up the middle for a base hit. Leadoff single for Tyler Schultz.
It's been a tough out of the 8-hole tonight. Good piece of hitting there.
Yeah, third time on base for Tyler Schultz. 2 hits and a walk. Now it's Anthony Palladino. Palladino, an RBI single in the 5th inning, also walked in the 3rd. Time for the catcher, Timmons. Tomorrow we'll pick up action at noon. Thomas Moore. And their opponent, pickoff throw to first base, well off the mark, and headed to second is Schultz. That'll be an E1. Catcher Timmons wants to come out and talk with Tyler Cross. Cross lettered 2 years at Plum High School. Last appearance went 1 1/3 innings, gave up just 1 hit at W&J on May 1st. So second appearance against the Presidents this year for David Cross. As a runner at second, with nobody out, 9-4 W&J, pitch low and away for ball 2 on Palladino. Long looking at the signs for Cross, now ready. Pitch on its way. Outside for a ball. Presidents 2 runs in the 2nd, 5 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th. Waynesburg 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. Waynesburg will be down to their final 3 outs coming up at the top of the 9th. W&J hoping to add on to their lead. 2-0 is outside for ball 3. Couple of home runs today for the Presidents. 2-run bomb by Kyle Smith to left. 3-run homer by Josh Stanish to right. 3-0 from Cross. Low, ball 4. Palladino draws a free pass. And Schultz already aboard at second base. Michael Ruffing, the next hitter.
Number 3, Michael Ruffing.
If you're David Cross, you need to concentrate on throwing strikes, making these Presidents hitters put the bat on the ball. 9-4 score isn't going to get any better until Waynesburg gets in here and hits. Certainly you don't want to see the Presidents add on at all.
Here comes Perry Cunningham, the pitching coach of the Yellow Jackets.
Made a lot of trips tonight.
He certainly has, wearing out a path from the third base dugout to the pitcher's mound today. We've seen 4 pitchers for Waynesburg and numerous visits. Now, David Cross in that previous outing on May 1st against W&J didn't have any troubles in hitting the strike zone. No walks, no strikeouts, nothing but outs for the most part, only 1 hit allowed. That was a meaningless double. Home plate umpire Luke Kammermeyer comes out to break up the meeting between Cunningham and Tyler Cross. 9-4 Presidents in front. Runners at first and second. And showing bunt, pulling back Michael Ruffing. Waiting on deck is Corey Bauer for his first at-bat of the night. Bauer came in as a pinch runner for Nick Vento and stayed in to play left field. 1-0. Bunt. Shortly popped and then played by the pitcher Cross on the third base side of the infield. And quickly up to his feet and fires in time to third baseman Jordan Truscott to cut down the lead runner. So the bunt attempt failed, and that bunt was a little awkward off the bat, awkwardly played by Cross as well. But as he literally fell off the mound and got to that ball, got there in a hurry and retired the lead runner 1-5.
Yeah, the funny thing about him more or less falling off the mound is that it did allow him to set himself towards third base. So it made it actually a relatively easy play once he gathered the baseball. But yeah, that did not look promising off the start for Waynesburg, but able to get an out.
Fielder's choice puts Ruffing on Palladino at second, 1 out in the inning. Fastball high to Corey Bauer. Bauer first at bat of the day, hitting .227. No homers, 8 RBIs this season. Has appeared in 27 games and has made 14 starts in 2014 for W&J. 9-4 Presidents, 1-0 swing and a miss on the fastball from Tyler Cross. Corey Bauer, a junior outfielder from Brentwood High School. We have Brentwood fans up here, apparently. Huh? All right, 1-1. I didn't realize I was accommodating the crowd. 1-1 foul out of play.
A lot of Spartan spirit up here. Brentwood's a Spartan.
That's right. Oh, I followed you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, though. You never know. A lot of Spartan spirit. Brentwood is they are the Spartans. I appreciate it. 9-4, W&J. With the pride of the Spartans at the plate, Corey Bauer. 1-2 pitch from Tyler Cross, breaking ball away. Tyler Cross with the lean in on a very comfortable day in Washington, Pennsylvania.
Maybe even a better night. Very comfortable night.
2-2, fouled off the catcher, Timmons. 2-2, the count will remain. Now, you're absolutely right. This is, normally this time of night, I might be at the minimum going for a hoodie or some sort of extra covering, but
we just play every game of the tournament tonight.
Let's get them all in.
Just do it.
Let's play 6 or 7. 2-2. And a two-hopper to first base. Bensinger plays it and will outrun Bauer to the bag. 2 outs in the frame. Palladino to third, Ruffing to second. So first base unassisted, sets down Bauer, and now it's Josh Stanish. Stanish, a big 3-run homer in the 5th inning, capped a 5-run frame. That gave the Presidents seeming command of the time, but Waynesburg battling back. 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. W&J getting 2 back in the bottom half of the 7th. Base hit here could be the icing on the cake. Stanish takes ball 1. Stay tuned to the post game as we'll give you a quick recap of the scoring and hand out our Mr. Big's Big Player of the Game. Cross with the 1-0. Well outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Speaking of Mr. Biggs, if you head there, maybe you want to watch the NFL draft perhaps once the PAC tournament is over for today. Any of the folks that make it out to the ballpark during the course of this tournament, you take a flyer that's available at the gate or your ticket or program from here at Ross Memorial Park and take it to Mr. Biggs, located on Racetrack Road, and they will give you 10% off your meal. 2 balls and no strikes on Josh Stanish. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs and a breaking ball low. Waynesburg in the 9th will have the 8, 9, and 1 spots due up. They got to get there first. Waynesburg now will intentionally walk Stanish with a 3-0 count on him. And there is ball 4, so no point in messing around with Stanish. They'll deal to Ronnie Parrish with the bases loaded now and 2 outs. Second intentional walk issued today by a Waynesburg pitcher, and here comes Mike Humiston, and that looks to be it for Cross. That will be it for Cross. That's the second visit of the inning.
But Waynesburg really going through pitchers here in the late innings. It's not a ton of innings for anybody, but they're throwing a lot of different arms.
5th pitcher of the day upcoming, and now it's Tyler Prevost, 5'11" sophomore from Chartiers Valley High School. So Tyler Cross enters in this 8th inning, gets 2 batters, gets 2 retired, does have the bases loaded against him, walks a couple, 1 was intentional. And now it's Tyler Prevost, who in 9 previous appearances is 0-1 with a 6.52 ERA, has 1 save to his credit in 9 2/3 innings, has allowed 16 hits, 13 runs, 7 earned, with 6 walks and 3 strikeouts. Well, as we have a moment here in the bottom of the 8th inning while Prevost is warming up, we'll pause for a quick break. The score in the bottom of the 8th inning, it's W&J 9, Waynesburg 4, with 2 outs of the bases loaded. We'll be right back. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just-for-guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Back at Ross Memorial Park, the W&J Presidents holding a 9-4 lead over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets as the Presidents make that the Yellow Jackets go to the bullpen once again for their 5th pitcher of the night, Tyler Prevost. And Ronnie Parrish will face Prevost here with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 8th. W&J, a base hit, as we mentioned, could put the icing on the cake. W&J had a 7-0 lead to start. Waynesburg fighting back to cut it to 7-4. Presidents getting 2 back in the 7th. And here we are in the 8th. Prevost, first pitch. Strike 1 on the inner third of the dish. Prevost, as a freshman, appeared in 4 games last year for the Yellow Jackets, gave up just 1 earned run in those appearances. While at Chartiers Valley High School, a member of the baseball team, of course, earned 3 letters, and a member of the soccer team, the Colts. 0-1. Parrish fouls it away. Parrish from Pine Richland High School.
Good baseball program.
And many, I'm sure, are familiar with Neil Walker, the Pittsburgh Pirates from Pine Richland. Well, so is Ronnie Parrish. 0-2 the count on Parrish right now. 5-run lead for W&J, bottom of the 8th inning. With the bases loaded, Prevost 0-2 pitch off the glove of Prevost. Played by the second baseman, Jacobin, then he drops it. Has no play, and a runner scores from third. It's now 10-4 W&J.
That went up on board as an error.
So E4 on Jacobin. Allows Palladino to score. And now Cal McLean McLean goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. Right side of the ball yard. (10-4) W&J. The Presidents tack on another, this time on an E4 in this inning. Bases still loaded. Bounding ball foul, third base way. Ruffing at third, Stanish at second, and Parrish at first. McLean, RBI single in the 7th inning. Walked in the 5th. Prevost with the 0-2 fastball outside on the right-handed hitting McLean. Right-hander has been loosening for the Presidents in the bullpen. We might have seen the last of Eddie Nogue for the night. You mentioned, Justin, he's over 100 pitches.
Nogue at 104. So not a crazy amount, but really no reason to push him here.
1-2 on the left side of the infield. Diving play by Truscott. He's able to stop the ball in the infield and then picks it up at his feet. Throws the first, not in time. Infield single for Kyle McLean. Bases stay loaded. Now 11-4 W&J. Ruffing crosses the pay station on the RBI base hit. Second RBI of the evening for McLean. Station to station. The Presidents moving along here and advancing their lead. 13-hit attack today for W&J. Here's Kyle Smith. He started the run scoring with a 2-run homer back in the 2nd. Takes a pitch away, ball 1.
Yeah, other than the power numbers, this is kind of the W&J type of offense. 2 here, 1 here, another run there, and before you know it, they have 11 runs stacked up. It's kind of what they've done in this game, especially the last few innings. 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. After Waynesburg cut it to 7-4, it really could go one of two ways, and Waynesburg definitely had all the momentum. It was up to W&J to answer, and they've certainly done that.
11-4 W&J in the bottom of the 8th with the sacks filled. Pitch up and in to Kyle Smith. 3 balls and no strikes. No place to put him as Prevost. Now 3 balls and no strikes on the batter. (3-0). And the fastball on the outer third catches the zone for a strike. (3-1). This one misses outside. Bases loaded, walk, and it's 12-4 W&J.
Well, if you're Mike Humiston, you do not want to go to your bullpen again. Need to find a way to get this third out.
You go to a position player before you go to the bullpen now.
I think that's correct.
That's a scenario. The coaching styles, the methods, the chess match, the things you need to do in a double elimination tournament. Derek McIlvain, the 9th batter of the inning, accepts outside ball 1, and here comes the catcher, Mark Timmons, to talk with Prevost. On game 1, Jeff Hetzer, the head coach of the Thomas More Saints, went with a freshman starter, and it paid off beautifully. He got 6 strong innings out of his freshman starter, and then his lineup able to power their way to 14 runs, part of a 14-5 win over the Bethany Bison.
Yeah, 7-run third inning was really Bethany's undoing. It really helped Thomas More out tremendously, and certainly when you have a young pitcher on the mound, too, that gives him a lot of confidence, being able to pitch, being able to go out there on the mound with a lead, and a 7-run lead at that point. It was 9-2. Pitch with a lot of confidence when you have that kind of lead to work with. And Vic Newberry, give him a lot of credit for coming up big in the first game of the tournament.
1-0 was popped out of play. over the first base dugout and beyond. 1-1 on McIlvain. Presidents have plated 3 in this frame. 12-4 W&J over Waynesburg. 1-1 popped up first base side. Is there enough room? Bensinger toward the Waynesburg dugout. Does not have enough room. And it's 1-2 on McIlvain. Well, as it shapes up right now, look for Thomas More and W&J at noon tomorrow on the PAC Sports Network. And the 3 p.m. game between Bethany and Waynesburg. And that'll be your first elimination game of the tournament at 3 p.m. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-2 to McIlvain, hits him. Another run scores. This time it's Parrish from third, and it's 13-4 W&J. So hit batsman RBI for McIlvain. The Presidents bat around in the 8th.
The Yellow Jackets need to find a way to get this elusive third out. Last 5 Presidents have reached base.
Fastball at the letters to Tyler Schultz for a ball. Schultz has reached 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. His single to start this inning. Got things moving along. Part of a 4-run frame thus far, 1-0. Wave and a miss by Schultz. Glad you can be with us on the PAC Sports Network. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Piles. You can follow us at Twitter, at PAC Sports, also on Facebook. PACstream.net. Another pitch hits a batter. This time it's Schultz. And it's 14-4. In comes McLean as he touches home plate. Smith to third, McIlvain to second. RBI for Schultz. And Anthony Palladino, and here comes Mike Humiston.
Well, let's see what happens, what transpires now.
Who do you go to? As we were just discussing, this is, at least in my mind, a situation where you go to a position player.
Or someone that is not going to pitch for you,
yeah.
Has no long-term plans the rest of the tournament. You want to save arms, See what or who comes out of the dugout area. Not a position player currently on the field.
No, it will be someone from out of the pen. It is Derek Whalen, a freshman pitcher out of Fairfield, Pennsylvania, at Fairfield High School. So Derek Whalen trying to get this, as you put it, Justin, the elusive third out of the 8th inning.
And it's really not been a whole lot of anything that the Presidents have done at the plate. A lot of walks. They had an error. A couple hit batters in this stretch since that second out happened. That was the second spot of the batting order. Palladino was due up in the 9th spot, so it's been a while since the out has been recorded.
And Prevost faced 5 batters, did not retire a 1. He was asked to get the final out in this frame, but unable to do so. So now the 6th pitcher of the day, Derek Whalen. Meanwhile, W&J has used just 1, Eddie Nogue, their ace.
See what happened here.
We have another NFL draft
just checking
update.
Checking it out. We're up to the 8th pick. It looked like the Vikings were supposed to pick, and Cleveland has slid into that slot now. Cleveland is in that slot now at 8, which was the Vikings spot, so we'll see what happens there. Notable people that were picked so far. Blake Bortles went 3rd, quarterback from Central Florida, to the Jaguars. Khalil Mack, linebacker from Buffalo, went 5th to the Raiders. And Mike Evans, who a lot of people around here were high on, Steelers fans, went 7th to the Buccaneers. Big, tall, rangy wide receiver from Texas A&M. His quarterback, Johnny Manziel, not drafted yet, although that's probably going to change sometime soon. You have a few teams upcoming that have quarterback situations that are less than ideal.
So the Browns with back-to-back picks in the first round upcoming here. Anthony Palladino will bat for the second time this inning. He walked and scored earlier in the frame. It's a 5-run inning for W&J, leading 14-4. And Whalen brings a strike. If nothing else, Mike Humiston wants to see a pitcher out there throwing strikes.
Absolutely. Something in the strike zone. At least make them beat you. Make the Presidents put the bat on the ball and walks and hits batsmen. Doesn't really help anybody. Doesn't let your defense make a play on the ball.
And the previous pitcher, Prevost, had walked one batter and hit 2 more. Presidents had only 1 hit out of the 5 batters that Prevost faced. Only 1 collected a hit against him. See if Whalen can get that out. 2 down, 14-4 in the 8th inning, bottom half. Pitch up high, 1-1. Tomorrow at noon, Thomas More against W&J on the PAC Sports Network. And again at 3, it's Waynesburg and Bethany in the elimination game, first elimination game of the tournament. Here comes the 1-1, Whalen breaking ball, up and in. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball popped up on the infield. Second baseman Jakobin calls for it, hauls it in for out number 3. 5-run frame for the W&J Presidents, and most of it self-inflicted by the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. The bases left loaded, score after 8 innings. It's W&J 14, Waynesburg 4. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA. When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park on the PAC Sports Network. 14-4, W&J leading the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. This was once a 3-run game at 7-4, but Waynesburg, or make that W&J rather, with 2 runs in the 7th and 5 more in the 8th, have upped their lead to 14-4 currently. And after 8 innings of work for Eddie Nogue, right-hander and freshman Joe Vita checks in. Try and get the final 3 outs of this one. First batter, Vita, will work too as Jordan Truscott. Neil Jakobin waits on deck, and Eric Crum also due up. Pitch high from Vita, ball 1. And a ground ball on the 1-0 pitch, headed up the middle past the diving glove of Michael Ruffing for a base hit.
Second baseman, Neil Jakobin.
Well, unless something crazy happens in this 9th inning, we're looking at W&J Thomas More tomorrow and Bethany Waynesburg tomorrow, and those will be the first 2 games.
Vita has made 9 appearances this year in 3 starts. Check swing, but a foul ball off the bat of Yakupin. 2-2 record for Vita. He has a 5.56 ERA, 22 2/3 innings of work, allowing 32 hits, 19 runs, 14 earned, with 6 walks and 8 strikeouts. 0-1. Check swing. Breaking ball drops in the zone on the inside corner. Strike 2. Presidents 14, Yellow Jackets 4. 1 on, nobody out in the top of the 9th. 0-2 popped up into shallow right field. In comes McIlvain as he calls off Palladino to make the catch. 1 out.
Textbook work out there. Palladino going as far as he can until he hears the outfielder. McIlvain call him off. He peels away. McIlvain makes the catch.
Now it's Eric Crum, who's 2 for 4. Has had a very good day at the plate. Could very well be 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. But 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, a double and a single to his credit. The PAC hitter of the week takes ball 1 from Vita. .0 fouled away. Presidents jumped out to a 7-0 lead. 2 runs in the second. It was a 2-run homer by Kyle Smith. 5 runs in the 5th, capped on a 3-run homer by Josh Stanish. Waynesburg fought back to make it 7-4 after the top of the 7th inning. 1-1 wave and a miss by Crum for strike 2. As we talked about not all that long ago, W&J pouring it on 2 in the 7th and 5 in the 8th. 1 on and 1 out, 1-2 away to Crum, the left-handed hitting right fielder for Waynesburg. Two is outside. (14-4), W&J leading this one. 3-2 chopper over the mound. Played by Ruffing. He'll try to get the tag down on the runner, and he will, and then just holds on to the baseball. So lead runner cut down. Truscott tagged out by the shortstop Ruffing. Fielder's choice has Crum on. 6 unassisted on the out of Truscott. And it's Nathan Morai, 1 for 3. Hit by pitch, 1 run scored, 1 RBI. Presidents 1 out away from meeting Thomas More tomorrow at noon. And game 1 tomorrow on the PAC Sports Network. Coverage of the PAC Baseball Championships. Vita's 1-0, fouled off over the first base dugout and beyond. Vita's 1-1 pitch, ground ball left side of the infield, sliding to his right is Ruffing. He'll field throw to second for the short out with Palladino covering, and that's your ball game. The W&J Presidents collect the victory 14-4 over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Stay tuned for our Mr. Biggs Big Player of the Game, as we'll recap this one when we come back. Your final score again, 14-4 W&J over Waynesburg. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
I'm attorney Dan Foster, and they call me Mr. Debt Buster because I can help clients break free from the prison of debt. Whether from medical bills, credit cards, or foreclosure, my firm helps good, hardworking people who are going through tough times. We will stop the harassing phone calls and get you the relief you deserve. Give me a call at 877-673-3282 or visit MrDebtBuster.com and let's get a plan together to bust you out of debt.
Foster Law Offices is a debt relief agency helping people file for relief under the U.S. Bankruptcy Code.
Mr. Big's Sports Grill and Tap Room, Washington's premier sports restaurant, offering an all-day lunch and dinner menu featuring a wide variety of items including Mr. Big's platter, ribs, boneless wings, and shrimp. Stop in and enjoy what's on any of their 25 HD TVs or relax on the fully seated patio. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. with live entertainment every weekend. Located at 595 Racetrack Road off I-79 at exit 41, down from the Meadows. Mr. Big's.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
And welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. The W&J Presidents closing out a 14-4 win over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets today. 14 runs on 13 hits, 2 errors for the Presidents, 4 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors for the Yellow Jackets. W&J started out with a 2-0 lead in the second inning. Kyle Smith with a 2-run homer to left to make it 2-zip Presidents, and that was in a battling at-bat for Kyle Smith, and eventually found a pitch he liked from starter Brian Resnick and rocked it for a 2-0 lead. In the 5th inning, the Presidents plated 5 consecutive singles by Derek McIlvain, Tyler Schultz, and Anthony Palladino, the third of which was good for an RBI to score McIlvain, and it was 3-0 Presidents after a sacrifice bunt by Michael Ruffing moved runners to second and third. An RBI single by Nick Vento upped it to 4-0, and then a big shot, Josh Stanish with a 3-run homer over the right field fence upped it to 7-0 W&J. Waynesburg, though, started a rally in the 6th inning. Eric Crum with a leadoff double, and Nathan Morai singled him home to cut it to 7-1. The Yellow Jackets actually had a chance for much more. They followed with singles by Kletzley and Bensinger. With the bases loaded and nobody out, a shallow flyout of Ben Shorthouse, and then Clay Roman bounced it to an inning-ending double play as the Presidents escaped out of that 6th inning jam. While it was 7-1, the Yellow Jackets, after 2 outs in the 7th, picked up a single by Neil Yakupin, a single by Eric Crum, and a hit batsman put Nathan Morai on to load him up. John Kletzley hit a fly ball to left toward the line that was dropped by left fielder Nick Vento, allowing all 3 base runners to score, and it became a 7-4 contest. Waynesburg back in it, but W&J made that the hopes of Waynesburg go away. Vanish very quickly, as in the bottom of the 7th, 2 runs, one coming in to score on an RBI single by Kyle McLean, a wild pitch, scored the other, Corey Bauer, trotting home on a wild pitch. Then a 5-run 8th inning with just 2 hits for W&J. It was a messy inning pitching-wise for the Yellow Jackets. Had a couple of walks, a couple of hit batsmen, all in all. RBIs going to Kyle McLean with an RBI single. Kyle Smith, bases loaded walk. Derek McIlvain, bases loaded hit by pitch. Tyler Schultz, bases loaded hit by pitch. All part of that frame as the Presidents put it on ice for a 14-4 victory. And I'll turn it over to Justin Piles for a look at the pitching totals.
Pitching totals for Eddie Nogue, winning pitcher tonight, 8 innings, 4 runs, just 1 earned run, 8 hits, did not walk a batter, and struck out 3. Jovita finished up with the 9th inning, gave up just 1 hit. And good work from the President's pitching staff tonight, other than the unearned runs in that 7th inning. Real strong effort by them, real difficult to do anything against. And that's been the strength of, or one of the strengths of W&J all season, is pitching and pitching depth. And we'll definitely see more of that down the road starting tomorrow. Losing pitcher Brian Resnick, 4 1/3 innings. 7 runs, all earned on 8 hits, walked 1, struck out 4.
So tough day for the Waynesburg pitching staff. They brought in 6 pitchers today, and Resnick taking the loss. Eddie Nogue earning the victory, 28-2 now in his career, and 6-1 on the season by way of the victory this evening. So W&J will play Thomas More tomorrow at noon, and then at 3 p.m. the first elimination game, the Bethany Bison against the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. And, of course, we'll have a 6 p.m. contest. The participants in that to be determined by way of tomorrow's action. But day 1 in the books. Thomas More winning earlier today 14-5 over Bethany in similar fashion. W&J defeating Waynesburg 14-4. Any parting thoughts here on day 1?
It was a different dynamic of the tournament. I said to you earlier in the day that our very first game that we did here a couple of years ago featured Thomas More and Westminster. That game won by Westminster on a walk-off squeeze play. That was a 2-1 game. A little different dynamic here, a couple of games that really got away from teams, although Waynesburg made this somewhat of a game in the middle innings. W&J ultimately rallying for the blowout win. But Thomas More and W&J look like the class of the conference, at least through day 1. Tomorrow's a different day. Bethany and Waynesburg definitely have their work cut out for them with that 1 loss. To their credit, they cannot lose another game or they will be eliminated. So tough road ahead for those 2 teams. And W&J Thomas More kick off the action tomorrow. That game should be a great one.
So Waynesburg falls to 17-24 overall. W&J improves to 28-13. And you were talking about W&J and Thomas More appearing as the class of the conference so far. Well, they were last year. They met in the PAC title game and both made it to the NCAA tournament as Thomas More received an at-large bid. I don't know that an at-large bid is in the cards this season for the PAC, but W&J and Thomas More still look like the top 2 teams to beat as they will do battle at noon tomorrow. We'll have all the action as we'll have every inning, every pitch of every game in this PAC baseball tournament. Glad to have you along for today's action, and we certainly encourage you to join us tomorrow starting at noon. Again, final scores today, Thomas More 14, Bethany 5, and in this one, the nightcap, W&J defeating Waynesburg 14-4. For my partner, Justin Piles, I'm Randy Gore. We will talk to you tomorrow at noon. You have been listening to the PAC Baseball Championships brought to you by Sport Clips.